Welcome to Girl, Geek, and the Gay, the place where even when we like the same stuff you do, we probably didn't like it right. I am Jose, and here to my left, I have the lovely Jaime.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm tired.
Me too.
But I'm good. Did you sleep well?
I'm so tired. I think I went to sleep at around 8 a.m.
God, stop.
Yeah.
Why? You just can't sleep? Is that what it is?
No, because of work. Well, I got home at a decent time.
What time was a decent time?
I was home by 5.
Okay.
That wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was home around 5 a.m. At 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I went to bed and I started playing a game on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Which I really shouldn't have done. Because it's like a puzzle game.
Oh, okay.
And I just kept going, okay, one more. Like, I could do one more. And
yeah, so it gets your brain going,
because
too.
They're quick games.
Yeah.
So I just kept going and going.
Got it.
And then I was like, I really need to go to sleep because my day's going to suck otherwise.
Yeah.
So my day's going to suck today.
Aw. So you haven't slept that much. Jeez. And then you got to go to work after that, right?
I got to go to work right after
Oh,
this.
my goodness. You're mad.
Yeah, a little bit.
For me, I don't know. Like, I think I just slept rough in general.
Yeah, you did.
It was just I don't know. I just woke up kind of uncomfortable, but we went for a walk this morning and then came back home and we chilled, and I was going to take a nap, but then I didn't end up taking a nap. So I'm just like, whatever, But I also feel like maybe because I take vitamin D.
Yeah, you did.
I take vitamin D, so I feel like I was a little low on my vitamin D levels. So maybe it could have been why I didn't sleep that well. It's weird. It just affects me in a weird way, but I'm fine otherwise. It was a good week. I was in San Diego on Wednesday visiting my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to spend time with my niece, so that was nice. It was chill. My sister was working, and I quote it because she kept. I love my sister, of course,
Yeah.
But she kept getting distracted by me just sitting there, watching my niece, which we're just hanging out, watching movies. We saw Encanto. Thank you.
Poor kid.
She loves it too. She was singing Bruno with me. So, but yeah. So my sister kept getting distracted, kept coming over to talk to me, and I'm like, Rosa, stop! You gotta work, But it was cool. It was just cool, just chilling, being in a different place. It's a bit of a drive, but whatever. It's a nice drive. It's not too bad. So.
Yeah, that reminds me. My niece is not too bright.
Oh my God, stop.
So she texted me the other day, and she's like, Dio, when can I come over to visit?
Aww.
And I replied, when you're old enough. And she said, okay, thank you.
Oh, poor her. How old is she?
8?
That was very relatable. I've totally done that before. Some age.
She's not my kid.
She's a child. No, I mean, I get it. I don't even know my siblings' birthday. No, that's not true. I know my sister's birthdays. I know the days of their births. Like the older brothers, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know what year they were born per se. And I apologize to my other nieces and nephews because I don't know their birth. Well, then again, I don't know Neilani, my niece's birthday either. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah,
sorry, kids.
My niece was
I love you all.
My niece was born in July.
Uh-huh.
And I'm born in July.
Oh, okay.
So when my sister was getting ready to give birth, I'm like, you better push that baby out early or hold her till August.
You didn't want her to be born on your birthday? I just thought it would be easier for you to remember.
Possibly.
Yeah. Don't be mean to your niece. Let her come over and visit you, meanie. She probably just wants to hang out with you, play video games.
Yeah. So speaking of games, when I'm playing the mobile game, the ads frustrate me beyond belief.
Yeah.
It's just, and they do what infomercials do, where it's such a simple task that they just keep fucking up. And you're just like, do it this way.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
and then like I've downloaded the whole game before because I'm like, no, I'm gonna show you how to do it. And I'm like, oh, they got me.
They get you so good, and it's always the ones with like that you just move left and right on, right? And like it says like multiply by 4 or divide by 3, and they always divide by 3 for some reason. Stop, you son of a bitch!
Yes,
makes you so mad.
Fucking exactly.
And you just you find yourself I find myself just sitting there like just staring at this like the whole 30 seconds that it's playing.
Mad as hell too.
Mad as hell, wanting to play the game. And I'm like, wow, they really get you. They like you said, I've downloaded a few of them too. There's this one where you used to you were like one of the little characters and you would run around collecting other groups. Like it sounds like a gang thing, you know, like because they're like, you know, different colors and you absorb those groups and make them part of your group. So then you start taking over the whole group, you know, like the whole map type of thing. You have like just a giant crowd of people. It was like, you know, just following you. And then, like you run across other gangs and they destroy you or something, you know. That game would drive me crazy. And I downloaded it and I just played it because of that stupid advertisement. They know what they're doing.
Exactly. It bugs the hell out of me. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to download this and I'm going to play and I'm going to show you how it's done. And then like halfway through the one game, I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah, they're so stupid. They're so stupid. There was another game that there was this heels one, right? They're like high heels and you would be able to get like higher and higher heels, and it's just your character. it
just
really
on stilts at some point.
Yeah, you were. Basically, you were, and I don't know why, but I would play that game over, and it was so pointless because there was the goal is to get to the end, right, or to just get far enough because it doesn't. As long as you don't break your heels along the way, as long as you make it to the end up the path, then you're good. But you could never, and not in all the rounds could you go up there's like stairs that you can, and it's like a runway thing. So I'm so gay.
You're very gay.
It was amazing. It had a Nicki Minaj looking character on there too. So, yeah, it was very up my alley. But they get you. Those games do get you. Oh, or the ones where like lately on TikTok, it's been saying, "Oh, you know that game that you thought you downloaded, but you really didn't. We found that game." And I just want to find out, but I haven't downloaded it.
I've gotten that ad.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
you son of a bitch.
You're like,
should I? No, I'm not gonna.
No.
I won't fall for it this time.
Right, because you're saying that it's the real one, but I don't believe you at this point.
It's more Gardenscapes.
Yeah, yeah, which it wouldn't be that bad, but it's just too much. Too much of like, you know, like those garden games, right?
Yeah.
They're just to take your money. So
no, and then like one that keeps popping up on mine is like this mom and daughter, and they're cold, and it's like, God. And it's
I know
like,
what you're talking about.
How what do you do? Do you replace this window or do you put some foam on it? And they're like, we're gonna foam the window, and I'm just like, no, fucking replace it. They're cold, damn it.
Well, it's even funnier when you think one of the options is like the one that makes sense, and they just do something completely different. You know,
like, let's tape up this door.
Yeah, okay, fuck it, and it was correct. There's also these other like zombie ones where they're like doing a puzzle.
Yes,
and the guy just like sacrifices a girl to the zombie. Okay, I'm out. What the fuck? You saved her, and then you sacrifice. You made out with her, and then you sacrificed her. It sounds like real life. Those games are crazy.
Yeah. So I found out that one of the places where I pick up the containers from at work is haunted.
Okay, fun, awesome.
So it okay. Every time when I'm either walking around looking for a certain container, or peeing, there's
or peeing.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I understood that right.
I'm a man, okay? The world
I'm looking
is my
for a
urinal.
container or peeing. Got it.
I'm either or, okay?
One of the two.
But either way, like I'm in the back, just looking in dark spots, right?
Yeah. I've heard about this in other situations too. Yes, gay situations.
But every once in a while, I could see someone like out of the corner of my eye.
Fuck.
And when I look up, there's nothing there.
Oh my
God. But a lot of
God.
times, I also know that I listen to scary stories and that kind of stuff. So I'm just like, oh, I'm in my head.
Yeah.
But the other day, as I'm leaving, the guy asked me like, oh, are you coming back? And I respond like in Spanish. I go, no, porque es tarde y aquí espantan. You know, it's late and
you said that?
Yeah,
or okay.
I said that. I'm like, it's late and it's haunted here, right? Like, that's basically the translation.
Right.
And he goes, oh, it's happened to you already.
Fuck.
And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, everybody in that corner says, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, it's happened a few times. And it happened again yesterday.
Shut up. Oh, my God.
Yeah, when I was walking back there, and I could see somebody, like, just out of the corner of my eye staring at me, and I'm like, should I look up?
Oh, my God. How about you don't pee in that corner anymore?
I mean, he likes the show.
Okay. Maybe it's a real person trying to scope out your dick. So
I'm just gonna helicopter it. Oh my God! No, when you're peeing, though, it's called the sprinkler. You're
so wrong. That, you know, like it's ghosts are like just one of those things where I also feel like if the more you pay attention to it, the more likely you are to like, you know, pull some type of energy towards yourself, you know? So, but there's always, I was working in Starbucks one time, and like with a coworker, we were the last two of the night, and we're just cleaning up. We're just cleaning up, and it was already like they were shutting stuff down. We stayed after hours in the mall, right?
Yeah, you did.
Stop it. But anyway, so I'm just cleaning, and just out of nowhere, we had just closed, so I didn't think it was unreasonable. But I swear I saw a little girl run up to the counter and just stood there, and then the coworker came from like the back room and just came out, and I'm like looking over the counter. It was like, I swear I just saw a little girl walk up to the counter, you know, like waiting for a drink. And it was because the register's in a place and she was a little girl in my head, right? Like to the right of it is where she, like to me, she stood there, and he came out, he didn't say anything, and I looked over and she wasn't there, you know. And again, it wasn't unreasonable, I didn't think, because we were closing and there's still people kind of leaving. But she wasn't there, and it tripped me out. And my coworker started recording. He just said he saw a little girl, and I was like maybe she wanted a frappuccino.
Yeah, little kids are creepy. Yeah. Little kids scare the hell out of me. That's why I don't want my niece coming over.
When they say creepy things is the craziest part, and maybe my oldest nephew, who is now 25 years old.
He says creepy things all the time.
No, not now, but when he was a kid, he was probably like 5 to 7 years old, maybe younger than that, maybe about 4 to 5. Let's just say it, right? We were hanging out, and we were just talking and playing, and you know, just hanging out. And I'm only 10 years older than him, but I remember him specifically saying something about it's because the little girl, like, you know, like she doesn't, you know, she said something about a little girl. It's like she was just talking about a girl, right? I'm like, oh, what little girl? He goes, she's over there. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, never mind, you won't understand.
Damn.
And I was like, okay, I won't. You know? It was creepy. But then I asked him about it now that he's older. He's like, I don't remember that. I was like, yeah, you don't. I do.
He traumatized you.
Yeah, it was creepy. So
yeah, little kids are creepy. That's what we've learned.
When they start just gazing out at like nothing or the corner.
With my old roommate, she used to have cats.
Oh, okay.
And every once in a while they would just stop and stare.
Oh my God.
And you're just like, what are you looking at? What are we looking at?
Yeah.
And then they would just run.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe should I run too?
Cats, they can see into other worlds for sure.
Yeah. You know, I've always thought that, because I don't really believe in ghosts, despite the fact that I've had certain things happen.
Yeah, now you're gonna get haunted more for saying that.
So I don't really believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
But I do think that maybe because I do believe like there's some kind of, okay, so when it comes to time, I think that all of time is happening at the exact same time.
Like it's all clashing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think it's linear.
Okay.
So I just think that there's certain areas where the fabric of reality is a little weaker, and you're just seeing things that already happened.
Yeah.
Like, kind of bleed through.
Yeah, they call it like residual hauntings.
Yeah,
is what they call it.
Okay, so the best way I've heard it put, and I don't remember where I saw it, but kind of like all of time is like pages in a book. So
okay. Yeah, like it stacks on top.
Yeah, it's all on top of each other, and all, even though all of those pages are touching, they're not really bleeding through. But if one of those pages gets wet, and then like it kind of bleeds through to another page.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I've heard it put that way, and I like that.
Yeah. That and the thing about like just that type, again, what I was saying in regards to like kind of calling that energy towards yourself, I feel like the more you believe in that stuff, the more likely it is to happen to you too, you know? But I do remember going to Spain, Adolfo and I, and then going with a friend. Yeah, so we went, and Spain is very, like, Spain. The architecture is very, like, you can feel it's old, right? Like, it's super, they just remodel certain places and stuff like that. And I remember the last place that we stayed at, it was an Airbnb that we stayed at, and I remember going into there, and I was like, this place is haunted. But in my, just thinking to myself, right? Just thinking to myself, my friend decides to be like, oh my God, this place is haunted. I was like, fuck. and like crazy. There was, you could feel some type of like energy in the place. They have creepy ass windows too. Like I don't know how people don't have like curtains or blinds on their windows. And then in their restrooms on top of that, in Spain, it's like glass panels that you can't really or this place in particular you can't really see through because it's not really fogged, but it's like almost like spaced and warped enough to not be able to see. It still feels like people could see me, like it's really uncomfortable to me, right? There's like no fucking curtains and it's a big ass, freaking glass window, and you could just see like silhouettes sometimes. So I didn't, try to acknowledge things like that or anything like that. But that night, the first night that we were there, just hanging out and just sitting, and watching like TV, because there's also processions going on the side because we were there in Semana Santa. My friend goes. He stands up. He's the one that said, "Oh, this place is haunted." As he stands up and goes over to the window to look at the processions, the lights just shut off. Like in the place, in the place. Poor guy. He couldn't even sleep in the room that night. But it definitely like it had that vibe. I didn't want to acknowledge it more than it was. But. Yeah, it was creepy. It was creepy, and then we thought, oh, maybe it's on a timer. It never went off again. It was just that specific night. But yeah, creepy. They're real.
I mean, something's out there, right?
Yes, a book.
Sure. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Definitely.
All right, so we got news coming up.
Yes, sir.
We've also got, and I really should have put everything on top. But I kind of forgot. So
we could say Doctor Who.
We got Doctor Who,
DoomPatrol,
DMZ, and Halo.
Halo, yes, Halo. Oh, and then we also have a Pokemon for JaimesPokedex.
Pokemon. All right,
yes.
Sweet.
I was ready. What the heck?
I'm so proud of you. And then next week, Moon Knight and Morbius, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. And we might have to put a pause on Doctor Who at least
because there's a lot of stuff. Like there's something that I've been dying to talk about with you. And
okay. Was it about this episode?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, we can't get there fast enough.
Damn it.
And I'm just like, son of a bitch.
We'll get there.
Yeah. I think it just reinforces my thoughts on how bad Jodie Whittaker is.
Okay. Poor Jodie Whittaker.
But yeah, let's move on.
Cool.
The Shining. Did you watch The Shining?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The
Shining? Yeah, the original.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Did you know there was already a second one? But it was an adaptation by Meg Garris.
When did it come out?
And I'm not sure if it's a second one, but or if they're talking about Dr. Sleep.
Oh, okay. Because Dr. Sleep was a sequel for it, right? But many years later.
Yeah, because I just saw something, and I forgot to look more into it. But it was just like because Steven Weber played the role that Jack Nicholson played.
Okay.
So I was like,
in that movie,
but I'm like, I don't know if he was in Doctor Sleep or not, because I don't think so.
I'm gonna say no,
but I've been like flashbacks. I haven't seen it. So
yeah. Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I really enjoyed Doctor Sleep. I thought it was really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like they try to create a universe based around like the power of The Shining. So, which is what it was called, right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy I saw it recently because I can appreciate it more now than when I was younger, for sure. So
yeah. So Stephen King famously hated that adaptation.
Oh wait, the original one?
Yeah. He did not like Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining.
Okay.
But I mean, now he gets another chance to hate it all over again because we got Ben Stiller playing. Wait, what was his name? Jack
Nicholson.
Jack Torrance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Ben Stiller's gonna play Jack Torrance, but it's gonna be a stage adaptation.
Oh, okay. I won't see it.
It's supposed to be a lot closer to Steven's work.
Okay.
So just a more faithful adaptation.
Yeah, the problem with those, him, right? Ben Stiller, we said, right?
Yes.
He's a comedy actor, and it's just.
Well, I mean, so is Michael Keaton. When he plays
Really?
When he played Batman.
Oh, okay.
Like, people were upset.
People
People were writing letters. That's how mad they were. Wow. It's not even like you just go on a forum and post.
Yeah.
People were writing letters to try to get Michael Keaton out.
I didn't even know that about Michael
he's
Keaton.
a comic. Come on, Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I don't remember Mr. Mom, though. I remember Beetlejuice.
Everybody remembers Beetlejuice. But yeah, Ivo Van Hover. He's going to be directing it. So, I mean, take that for whatever it is.
Yeah.
But Evil Dead Rise. Have you seen the Evil Dead series?
No. You know, those... I feel like you're going to slap me. The reason being... Okay, go. Those movies from that era really freak me out. They really freak me out.
I recently rewatched them, like maybe a month ago.
Do they still freak you out?
Oh,
do they freak you out?
Like the first one, I think is the best.
Yeah.
And there are some scenes in it that's like, oh my god, that's so fucking creepy.
I'm feeling that way.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's why I don't watch them, because I even think about, I think Night of the Living Dead, when I saw it when I was a kid, maybe I'm just like experiencing traumatic memories, right? Like, the way that they did the practical
the practical
effects creepy. They're so creepy, and it's so much more real than even a CG character or whatever, right? Like even anything we have now. Like I don't feel like I get freaked out by like the Walking Dead zombies. Although there are some scenes in the Walking Dead, like back when it was good, that were freaky. Once upon a time, yeah. Like there was a scene where like they tore into some guy's face, and it was like, oh my god, like terrible, you know. But I feel like those from that era had a much more, like it was much more impactful, you know. It was so real. Oh, it creeps me out. I want to see it. I might rewatch them now.
Yeah, the first one's really good.
Yeah.
The second one's a little confusing. The third one's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I enjoy all of them.
Yeah. Evil Dead, is that the one with Ash in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ash Williams.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a new installment in it. But there's not going to be, like, Bruce Campbell isn't coming back as Ash, which I found weird.
Okay.
Because they did make a TV show recently.
Yeah, and I saw part
Ash
of that.
versus Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that show, too.
I saw a few episodes and it kind of fell off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show.
Cool.
But it just received its official rating, which is an R rating. Strong, bloody horror, violence, and gore.
Jesus.
And some language,
it better be. Course. Wait, is it a movie or going to be a show?
I think this is going to be a movie.
Okay.
Synopsis, movie.
Okay.
In the fifth Evil Dead film, a road-weary Beth pays an overdue visit to her older sister Ellie, who is raising 3 kids on her own in a cramped LA apartment. I don't know how they're going to make a cramped LA apartment creepier than it already is.
Or maybe those prices. But is it going to maybe not just take place in the apartment? Maybe, you know.
Well, the sisters' reunion is cut short by the discovery of a mysterious book in the bowels of Ellie's building, giving rise to flesh-possessing demons and thrusting Beth into a primal battle for survival as she is faced with the most nightmarish version of motherhood imaginable.
It sounds like Quarantine or Wreck. The Spanish version, which is much better. It sounds like that to me. It sounds like it's gonna be like a high-rise building, or at least a big enough building for them to be kind of shut down in just that place.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
The film is expected to land on HBO Max later this year.
Oh, cool! I'll watch it.
I will too.
Yeah,
I like Evil Dead. I really do.
I need to watch the other 4 then. I'll catch up. Wait, you just said 4, right? Because this is gonna be the 5th.
Because there is technically another one.
Okay.
Which was a remake of the first one, but without Ash. It was actually, I also really enjoyed it.
Oh, cool.
And I don't feel like it needed to be called Evil Dead.
Oh, okay.
But I guess it had some scenes in it that are very reminiscent of the original.
Got it. So they didn't want it to seem like it was, and that's why you said adaptation too. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Tim Burton's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, with Christina Ricci, right?
Christina Ricci will be making a return to Addams Family. Cool. She's not going to be playing Wednesday though.
Wait, I thought she was going to be the Wednesday.
No. So it says that the role hasn't been divulged.
Okay.
Because Jenna Ortega is playing Wednesday.
Oh.
Jenna Ortega was from Scream.
She's
the girl that Scream 5 or the
no, I mean like the sister,
the one that's in the hospital the whole movie.
Yeah, the
one that gets
that almost got murdered. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought the movie was taking place in Addams Family world, and Christina Ricci was going to just play an older version of herself.
That's what I thought it was.
Oh,
but apparently not.
Okay.
So the cast also includes Luis Guzman as Gomez and Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia. The role Christina Ricci is playing has not been revealed. They want to make it a surprise to fans. It's described as a sleuthing, supernaturally infused mystery, charting Wednesday Addams' years as a student at Nevermore Academy. It's set to follow Wednesday's attempts to master her emerging psychic ability, thwart a monstrous killing spree that has terrorized a local town, and solve the supernatural mystery that embroiled her parents 25 years ago, while navigating her new and very tangled relationships. The more they talk, the less interested I am.
Yeah, because it sounds like a mess, and I bet you time travel is going to be part of it. She's going to visit herself from the future or some shit like that. Watch. Because, I mean, it doesn't make sense to put Christina Ricci in it, and she's not Wednesday. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's who she is. You know? It's almost like, again, like if she was in Beetlejuice. Oh, wait, that was somebody else.
That's Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. That's what I was putting Winona Ryder in a Beetlejuice movie, but she's not whoever she was playing. I don't remember her name. Yeah. Who? Oh, okay, whatever.
Olivia.
That girl.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sure. Sony confirms VRR, variable refresh rate, is coming to the PS5 in the coming months. I don't know what that means.
Because I mean, VR was a thing.
Yes, because honestly, that's why I clicked on the article. I'm like, wait, are they going to do more VR for PlayStation 5? So, HDMI 2.1 compatible TV or PC monitors, it will dynamically sync the refresh rate of the display to the PS5's console, to the PS5 console's graphical output. This has been available on the Xbox Series X and S since its debut, but basically it helps minimize visual artifacts like screen tearing. Gameplay is smoother, graphics look crisper, and input lag is reduced. That kind of stuff.
Cool. I thought this was gonna be a VR thing.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, no, but by the way, just because you reminded me, to this day I refuse to like get into the Quest because it's powered by Facebook. Am I crazy?
A little bit, yeah. Everything's powered by Facebook. But you're on Instagram.
I know, and I've actually been considering deleting my Instagram too. But then podcasts. So anyway,
you don't need a personal Instagram for the podcast.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. How will I share our post to my post?
Ubisoft news. Okay, so Ubisoft is famously like a pretty hated developer. I don't know why. Maybe I like Ubisoft games.
Okay. I was thinking maybe they treat their employees like shit, but I might be confusing that with EA.
Yeah, EA is the most hated developer, and a lot of it is because of like pay to win type stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
trash.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Ubisoft is reportedly gearing up to host a massive showcase event, which they could reveal a new Prince of Persia game, Immortals Phoenix Rising sequel. Other games rumored to be shown off are Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Ghost Recon Frontline, and Splinter Cell Remake. I've always said Splinter Cell is one of my favorite games. I'm so excited for like this remake.
Yeah, for sure.
So also another DC project delayed. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League has been delayed.
And that was a video game, right?
Yes. So it was announced 2 years ago during Fandom. It was set to be released later this year, but Sefton Hill, Rocksteady's creative director, said, "We've made the difficult decisions to delay Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League to spring 2023. I know a delay is frustrating, but that time is going into making the best game we can.
Okay.
I look forward to bringing the chaos to Metropolis together. Thank you for your patience."
I think that you can do that, with video games, to make them the way they should be. I think if you're going to put out a product that people are going to have to pay for $60 at least, like
at first,
yeah, that it's worth it, especially because you can't really return video games, things like that.
Yeah, so many games also get stuck in that developer hell, though.
Yeah,
I remember when the first Xbox came out. One of the games that I was really looking forward to that just never came out was called BC, and you basically played a caveman in like back in the day, and dinosaurs, and it was like a survival game.
Yeah.
So you had to make shelter, fire, and like all that kind of stuff. Go hunting for food, and it looked really cool. It just never happened.
Yeah.
And I like dinosaurs.
Yeah, that would have been cool. There are some like dinosaur related games. I mean, not like Jurassic Park, but there's other stuff that I've seen. But yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So Christopher Lloyd set to appear in season 3 of The Mandalorian. That is Doc from Back to the Future. Doc Brown.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, I know who
Okay.
Doc Brown is. Yeah. Okay. What, do
no
we know?
character
No?
on no reveal on what character he'll be playing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because it's not really of my era either. Like I mean, I saw Back to the Futures. I'm not a cool. I'm not like I'm just like I feel like other people would appreciate him more than I would, type of thing, you know. So
Okay.
yeah, but that's cool.
The Winchesters. So Supernatural ran for 15 years.
Okay.
Just fucking insane.
Yeah.
But we're getting more of that universe.
Oh.
Deadline reports that Meg Donnelly and Drake Roger will star as young Mary and John in the story of how they met and started their demon hunting journey. I find this weird though because we've already seen young Mary and young John in the Winchester in the Supernatural series.
Okay. So, and they're like main characters in the show too.
Yeah. So this is a prequel. The Winchesters is a prequel to the Supernatural series, and it's the parents.
Oh.
So at some point we find out in the show that spoilers for this old show that Mary Winchester, the mom, is a demon hunter.
Oh, okay.
Ghost hunter. She's a hunter.
Okay.
So she takes out vampires and werewolves, demons at some point.
Crazy.
And John, like he comes from something called the Men of Letters, which are they're more researchers.
Okay.
So they research everything and find out how to kill everything and relay the information to the hunters.
Oh.
So that's how that works.
That's how they kind of met. Then.
Yeah, well, no, because John has no idea what that world is.
Oh.
And he just comes back from war and he, like, shit happens, basically.
Oh, okay.
And John doesn't really get into that until after his wife is killed. So that's why the kids are brought up in that lifestyle.
Oh, okay.
Because he becomes a hunter.
Oh, got it.
But I mean, no word on when the show will premiere. In the series, Mary has been living the life of a hunter for years, and just when she's about to quit, she meets John, who recently returned from Vietnam, and after trying to learn more about his father, finds out he was part of this whole other world.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, Gotham Knights. More casting news in the CW series.
Okay.
I really wasn't going to cover the casting for this show because I don't care.
Okay.
It's getting to that point.
Yeah.
But Harvey Dent was just cast. And
Okay.
speaking about Supernatural, Misha Collins is going to be playing Harvey Dent. Misha Collins played Castiel in Supernatural, and he was my favorite character. And Misha Collins just seems like such a lovely guy.
Oh, cool.
Like there's an episode that they have in Supernatural where they cross over to the real world, right? And they meet Misha Collins, like who's playing Castiel.
Oh,
But like, you know, he's an actor, but he's also playing the character.
Yeah.
But one of the things that made me laugh is because he's constantly tweeting, and like there's one tweet that he goes, "Hello, Misha amigos." That just made me laugh so hard.
Misha Amigos. That's really good.
So the description for Harvey Dent. Dashing with a swagger, Harvey Dent is Gotham's charismatic, hard-charging district attorney with a rigid sense of right and wrong. Harvey's idealism and single-minded quest for justice will ironically and tragically transform him into one of Gotham's most feared supervillains, Two-Face.
Oh my god.
I know, spoilers.
No way.
Yeah. So keeping in line with
The
CW
usual.
series,
Yeah.
The Flash has been renewed for its 9th season.
Jesus Christ.
It's now passing Arrow as longest-running DC show in the network.
Okay.
I fell off of The Flash a long time ago.
Me too.
Like
I
4
fell
seasons
off
ago at this
all the
point.
shows. Yeah, like, and sadly, I did enjoy The Flash probably the
too.
most and have enjoyed it the most. But I haven't gone back to it. And I look at it on Netflix, and I'm like, should I watch that? Nah, I'm okay.
There's just so much of it.
There's
It's
so
a
much
little,
of
It's a
it.
little overwhelming.
Yeah, and while crossovers are cool, I think that they can be overdone.
Yeah, and they are kind of over relying on
Yeah,
because they're doing the same thing DC Comics did at some point with just all these crises.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then so like I just feel like I'm never catching up because I'm like, shit, I still have to watch all of these every single season to be able to keep up with it.
Yep.
Damn.
Superman and Lois has also been renewed.
Cool. I know you like that show a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that show. I just hate having to watch it on that CW app.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Peacemaker season 2. Oh.
I was just fixing the mic. I was listening.
It looked like you were trying to backhand me.
But I don't know where.
We do not talk about the Peacemaker. James Gunn has given an update on season 2 of Peacemaker.
It's been canceled. No, I'm just checking. Yeah.
The quote is, "I know what Peacemaker's emotional journey is, know where he is now. I know where he ends up. I mean, we see where he ends up. In some ways, he ends up in a good place. He's been cleared by Adebayo. She sacrificed her own relationship with her mother to clear him. And we see at least the beginning of a friendship between him and Amelia Harcourt. And a true friendship between him and, some of the other characters. But we also see his father looms, whether or not he was alive. And whatever that infection is that his father's still there, it is very much a part of who he is. And if you know a little about the comics, that's there as well. So yeah, I know where it goes emotionally. We're still trying to figure out the plot stuff. And also, frankly, I'm working on another DC thing. And maybe another one. So we got a couple of things that we're balancing with the stories.
Yeah.
So maybe Ratcatcher 2 is what people are thinking.
Yeah.
Or a Bloodsport series.
If it's too different, but it could be both, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I'm like, a Bloodsport series is just making more Peacemaker. Because
they're the same
I
person.
remember that on Suicide Squad. We said, but so he's just like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're the same character, basically.
Yeah.
So Black Adam is also under fire.
Under fire?
Yeah.
Because it got pushed back further again?
Well, no, it's the newest film is under fire by Mohamed Diab. I hope I'm saying that right.
Oh, gosh.
But he's a director for Moon Knight.
Okay. Oh.
And it's for its lack of Egyptian representation.
Oh, yeah. I think I heard about this.
Yeah, so his gripe stems from DC choosing to uproot the story from Egypt and instead dropping it into a fictionalized Middle Eastern city. Although I think the version that they're basing it on isn't based on Egypt, but it is a lot of Egyptian iconography and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Wasn't that also said about the scene in? Oh, maybe I'm confusing two different situations. This is probably what I kind of read a quick little thing about it, but it was probably what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I mean, in my mind, none of DC's cities are real. Mm-hmm. We have Gotham, we have Metropolis, Star City, Coast City. But he said, I was really annoyed with DC when they said Black Adam in a fictional Middle Eastern country as an excuse to cast non-Egyptians when it was obviously meant to be in Egypt. Representation opportunities shouldn't be wasted. Yeah. But it's not a full mistake since it's based on an iteration of the comics that doesn't mention Egypt. So he goes, for example, in Moon Knight, he was sure to hire not only local actors but a creative team, including an editor, a costume designer, and an art director, and a composer who are all Egyptians, in hopes of bringing more exclusivity to his production. But let's not forget that Oscar Isaac is Guatemalan.
Yeah, he is Guatemalan. Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah. Which is cool. I mean, it's not... he's not an Egyptian person. Was Moon Knight Egyptian?
I think Moon Knight might have been white.
I was going to say, I think Moon Knight was white. Yeah. So, yeah. But that's cool that at least the production and, some of the characters are going to be...
It's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. Which is how I feel about Miss Marvel. I like the representation for sure.
Yeah. Doctor Strange runtime, 2 hours and 28 minutes.
That's not bad.
It is 20 minutes less than the Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it seems to be more packed with more things.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot that happens in it for sure.
Yeah, so I'm impressed that they're able to do it for just 228.
Yeah, exactly. And mind you, consider that there's a lot of the Batman that could have been cut, for sure. God, yeah. So, because it was long, and mind you, this kind of leads me to like a story too that I want to talk about, but I'll let you finish if you want.
Oh, I mean that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. Well, did you see? And so, mind you, they did cut some of the stuff. This is what I was gonna say. Is that they cut stuff? They cut like the looks of the Joker. Did you see those pictures of the look?
Yeah. Well, I saw the video they released.
Oh, I didn't see the video. There was a whole ass video?
Yeah. There's a whole deleted scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a 5-minute scene with Batman
and Joker. Oh, okay. So I personally only saw the clips, and I'm gonna just show you because I only saw like pictures of it.
Yeah, that's just from the scene.
And And I'm kind of happy they cut this Joker because doesn't he kind of look like Two-Face? Like,
well, a lot of people were thinking it was Two-Face when the movie came out.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew it was a Joker was because
He laughed?
I mean, well, no, because I did the story about Barry Keoghan.
oh,
already.
okay, okay. So people's initial reaction to the jail scene, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about? Where that he was the, I mean, I didn't get that. I got Joker because of the laughing, but maybe
Yeah.
also because I knew, and also you could kind of see green hair.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't necessarily like that Joker look because it's too much of like Two-Face.
He
And then-
looks very deformed.
Very deformed, and
Maybe it's something happened with the last fight with the Batman that caused that, but it looked a little
the last fight with the Batman. What do you mean?
because he's already met Batman.
Oh,
in,
okay.
in the movie.
Oh,
So like, there's a reason he's in Arkham already.
Well, yeah, okay. I thought somebody just put it in there.
So
I guess
yeah,
it's not a good look in my opinion for the Joker. Just based on all the Jokers I've seen in the past and stuff like that.
yeah.
Myself.
I mean, Barry Keoghan actually does a good job.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But you can't give me like a shitty looking Joker like Jared Leto with that performance too.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. DC,
Double
get
whammies.
it straight.
Yeah.
So Morbius, early reviews are in,
Oh.
and it doesn't
look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
not surprised.
yeah. To be honest, this movie has just not caught my attention.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah.
It doesn't look good. The dialogue in just the trailers alone isn't very well
Jared
done.
Leto.
Yeah, I mean, and Jared Leto's not a bad actor. That's what trips me out because he's not a bad actor. Like I've seen him in other stuff where he's like, oh, Jared Leto was really good in this.
Yeah.
But just yes, I mean, just one of the lines that always just makes you go is when he's like, "Should I call a doctor? I am a doctor." Fuck you, stupid ass line. Like, first off, what the fuck? Like, you just see, like that's like seeing a guy in a wheelchair and be like, "Should I call a doctor?"
Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck for?
Yeah, yeah.
Stupid ass line. And when he's like, "I have some kind of bat sonar."
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. And it's the problem is it kind of reminds me of Venom too, you know, which we've talked about.
Venom was not good.
Yeah, well, which we've talked about these issues with them trying to create a whole universe based on the Spider-Man universe, which is, you know, like it's not, and they're trying to not tie it into the Marvel universe as much as possible, even though there's still some kind of like crossovers with like Vulture and stuff like that, right? Like Vulture's supposed to kind of be in this. I think that
at least Michael Keaton is.
well, yeah, and
We're
it's implied that he's a
assuming he's
vulture.
playing Vulture, yeah.
I mean, okay,
At
so
this point, I have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
that's a good point, and we have to watch it. But it's already a vibe that we're getting, and Sony, you know, just give it over. You know, like we don't need this. We don't need a whole backstory for Morbius. I never thought we really needed a Morbius story. He could have been a villain.
The Spider-Man TV series did a great Morbius story.
Yeah.
And you know what? They did it in an episode of Spider-Man. They did it in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. Again, he's a Spider-Man
It might have
character.
been. It might have been a 2-part series. So 44 minutes.
Okay. He was part of like a Marvel Zombies team that was trying to stop the Marvel Zombies, which was cool. Like that. I mean, it made sense for that time. I don't know if we're in that place yet, though, to try to make Morbius like a bigger deal than what he is. You know.
Yeah.
And I just think about all the other possibilities of like Madam Web and Craven. You know, like. We don't need those. I mean, Venom and Carnage. Like we don't need the Venom and Carnage. Like Venom was already not a good movie. Carnage was not a good movie. Like it was not a good movie, you know. And so to kind of
keep making shitty movies.
You're kind of
watching it.
But because of Spider-Man, like we're because of what we know about Spider-Man, and that's what I was gonna say is like they're kind of ruining the franchise in a sense, you know, because we are expecting. You know, Spider-Man relation, you know, like in relation to Spider-Man.
Because they have confirmed that there is a Spider-Man in this universe.
Yeah.
And I remember early screenshots of Morbius or like one of the early trailers in the background, you see a poster.
Oh, yeah.
Of what looks to be Tobey's Spider-Man.
Okay.
So,
I'm not a fan.
I like Tobey.
No, I get you. But it's just, let's not do it anymore, please. Because you're going to ruin it. They just need to cancel all the Spider creature, spider villain movies going forward.
Yeah, so Matt Smith is in this movie.
Okay.
The Doctor.
Yeah.
And he's said to be playing Doctor Loxias Crown, who becomes Vampiric in the comics.
Vampiric?
Yeah. Because of Morbius experiments.
Wow.
Smith has now
spit on the prick.
Yes, Smith has now spoken out about the role in an interview with Screen Rant. He said, "The truth is, I wasn't aware of the great big history of the character in many respects because the script I was presented with doesn't really delve into the past of him, or indeed the future, and isn't someone else playing him. It's all a bit confusing to me, to be honest with you.
That's not good.
I took as my Bible just the actual script." Is the honest truth of it. And it was all a bit odd, whether it was Loxias Crown or not. I'm still not quite sure, to be honest.
Whoa. He's like washing his hands, cleans up. He's like, fuck this. I just needed I needed a job.
I love Matt Smith, but he has done some terrible movies. Because he was also in that Terminator Genesis.
Oh, okay. I can't even picture him in that. That's funny.
It was bad.
I don't think I saw it.
It was the reason he shaved his head.
Oh, okay.
Because remember in Doctor Who, there's an episode where it turns out he's wearing a wig.
Oh no, I don't remember that. But
yeah, because he had shaved his head for the movie.
Oh wow!
So he's wearing a wig.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
it sounds bad.
And it looks bad.
It looks bad.
That's a trip to me. Like it looks bad. Not once have I been like, oh, this looks like a cool movie.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
It's over.
New addition to the MCU. A trusted source has confirmed that Tom Cruise will be joining the MCU.
Oh, fuck.
It's looking like he's going to become a prominent figure in that franchise, or at least in some respect. People are still speculating whether or not he'll be Superior Iron Man, but it looks like we're getting some Tom Cruise.
Yeah, cool.
Also, Nova.
Cool.
Yeah, so the scribe for Moon Knight, Sabir Pirzada, seems to have signed on to pen a script for Richard Rider's Nova. Why did they name the guy Why did they name the poor guy Dick Ryder?
Oh my god. That's terrible.
Yeah, Richard Rider.
Stop.
No word on if it'll be a limited series or a full-on movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy. I have some news.
Oh,
just
perfect.
A little bit.
I'm
so we're, I still, my video game is one of my video games is Injustice 2 Mobile, and they're introducing a random character that I guess makes more sense because we got the Batman who laughs in it. We're getting now Batwoman the Drowned.
Okay.
Do you know about her?
I do not.
Okay. It's weird because she's like an Aquaman-ish kind of character, but not like so that's her. And she's Bryce Wayne. Her dad died. So very similar to Batman. But I guess she just she's like a character that ends up dying of like being drowned. Like literally that's why she's called Batwoman who drowned, or that drowned, And it seems like it's gonna have some relation to the Joker who laughs. Because I guess he also went around to different worlds collecting different Batmans to join his like evil team in the dark metal world, I guess it is. I don't know that much about her. Just the previews that we got of her so far, but they're adding her to the game, which is interesting. We're getting a new gold character. At least she's gonna be free.
Oh, now.
For now,
the
actually,
3-star one.
Actually, she's gonna start as like an early access character because now they're doing this thing where there's been 3 characters so far where you get early access by doing like the seasons of stuff, like like a season pass. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. So it's like $10 and you get to unlock her right away, type of thing. It really doesn't work in this game because it's already too late. Like they like most of their characters have been free, if they're gold, have been free up until these last 3 that came out, which were Wonder Woman, the classic Wonder Woman. Yeah. We got Hush a few months ago, and then now we're getting Batwoman who drowns, the drowned is what they call her. But so it seems like they're doing another pass with her too, most likely. She looks really cool because she has like a trident, so it reminds me of like Aquaman and Batwoman put together type of thing.
Yeah.
But we don't know much about her yet. So, but it's cool to see. At least we're getting a new character, except for the paywall, to begin with. So, the usual. Yeah,
All
you know,
right.
DBD is coming up on its 5-year anniversary too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's coming up on its 5-year.
You mentioned that last week.
Yeah, because so I know for sure 4 because I actually got some rewards for the 4-year anniversary because it's when I first started playing. Actually, 3 to 4, something like that. And so see like the 5th year is coming up, so a lot of people are speculating that it might be like a FNAF character or a Five Nights at Freddy's character that gets added to the game. So
Okay.
I guess we're kind of waiting to see. And I'm still playing the Unreal. She's still really cool, but I'm always down to see a new character get added to the game too. So
Sweet.
we'll see.
Doctor Who. Tesla's Night of Terror. Was that right? Because I just wrote that down my memory.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
So they couldn't even just short fucking.
It was. I was like, is that really what it's called? Like, it totally threw me off. Written by Nina Mitivier. Anyway,
All right.
that was her last name. Spelled Mitivier. How would you say that?
I don't know. That sounds right, but I'm just like,
Yeah, not another good episode. I mean, it's moving on. You know, like it's moving. Just at least it wasn't as bad as the previous one. I didn't feel like. But this again. This introduced another new villain, another new type of creature thing, which were called
Alien Edison.
what? No,
No, I don't know. I don't know what they were called.
the script or something like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they were basically Edison, like just stealing other people's inventions.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
right.
fuck
Because that's
off.
why they wanted Tesla to be part of the. That's why they wanted to take Tesla, right? Yeah, and this again goes back to the thing that I was saying, and now I don't know if you noticed it this time too, but now it's another humanoid bipedal queen. You know,
like thinking about that, even in the past, I feel like
They've
a
been that
lot
way?
of Doctor Who's monsters are bipedals, bipeds, except for maybe except for the Daleks,
okay.
and they even made the Daleks bipeds at one point,
Yeah.
which was weird.
Or like I guess humanoid would be the more
Yeah,
accurate
but I mean,
word.
like we have Cybermen
Yeah.
and the Silurians.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I don't feel like the Silurians because she mentions how she's like, oh, this is a Silurian weapon. You have alien weapons, and I'm like, Silurians aren't aliens. The Silurians are the lizard people that live under.
Oh,
the
okay.
Earth.
Yeah, they're technically from
Yeah,
Earth. Yeah.
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 Then yeah, like they have plenty of aliens that are kind of
That's a humanoid.
bipeds.
So I mean, but maybe it's just the designs of them that just come out like, meh,
Well,
you know.
this one not only is it not original,
Yeah.
it looks basically exactly like I think the Arachnite Queen
Oh,
from season 3.
I don't remember.
It's one of the Donna Noble episodes.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what's crazy though? Actually, before they showed the queen, the actual creatures, the ones that like project human forms, right? Those creatures look pretty interesting. Like they look like scorpions, but also kind of have like people's faces.
Yeah.
And they had tails, so those weren't that bad. But I feel like the queen just kind of became a cop out. You know, it was like the queen has
see?
to be bad. Oh
It
wow.
looks basically exactly like that.
But that looks way better though.
yeah.
Yeah, compared to what they did with this scorpion queen, you know?
was that?
Because is that a scorpion? The other one was like a spider.
It was
right?
like a spider, yeah.
Okay, and so the scorpion queen was kind of lame. Well, like you said, it's already a
'Cause
stolen
that's
idea
kind of
too.
like the design.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't feel like the scorpion,
No.
this one
No,
looked the
because
same.
she was a biped, but
Yeah,
but I thought like
and with a tail, you know? Yeah, from the face for sure.
yeah,
yeah,
and her mannerisms were exactly the same too.
Also, her face looks a lot more smooth there in that picture than it did in the actual show.
show.
Yeah, because in the show it looked really cheap. Like there was no she looked like she was wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
you know, and then a helmet, and then like the paint was just like whatever. Yeah, again, that's a really good picture compared to what I saw in the episode. Well, at least that's what I felt like. Yeah, and it was at first when they introduced the first guy with the mustache. Like he really looked creepy with his eyes, and
Yeah.
and I like the idea of what they said that they're projecting a human form. So it wasn't like too bad of an idea of a villain, but the Scorpion Queen Like they really kind of like it was lame, you know, compared to the way they looked. Especially, and there was a cliche scene when they were all chasing the doctor at a certain point, or chasing. Was it the doctor? They were chasing the doctor, or maybe Yaz. I can't remember who they were chasing. I think it was Yaz that they were chasing, and because she was with Tesla and they were running. Oh no, she was with Edison, because Edison's in this episode as well. And they're chasing them, and all those scorpion things were like just crashing into each other. I'm like, do these beings not know how to naturally just walk? You know, like are they a creature that is just naturally clumsy? Because if their form, you know, like if you're a human, right, you learn how to walk at a certain point. How are they running into each other so much? You know, like it was kind of like it was clumsy. It was clumsy, but because it was meant to be like a cliche of an alien, you know, and that's why it was clumsy. Even though, you know, before that, like they look really cool. You know, at least the way they transformed, they projected themselves was cool. You know, like it was interesting. But the whole story of this one was kind of like, yeah, you know, it's a little boring. It was boring, right?
Yes, I know I watched it. That's really all I could tell you.
Yeah.
Like even my notes are just like fucking exposition dump.
Yeah. Because she in this episode also, when I mean, I'm just jumping all over the place as I do with this episode, with this show. She also then goes to lecture us about to teach us about Tesla's history and how he ended up penniless, but his inventions are really what helped mold the world. And it's so overdone, like the history. And you know what else is fucking overdone? That damn sonic screwdriver. Fuck her and that fucking screwdriver. Every fucking thing. Like what the fuck? It is driving me so crazy, Jose, because I remember a sonic screwdriver. I just don't remember people using it as much as she has been using it. They have been using it in this show. It's like so overdone. For no reason. It's so inconsistent too, right? Like in the beginning, they're on a train. At a certain point, I don't fucking remember where they were going, right? She makes some shit fall off the train. It was like a piece of the train fell onto a person, onto the scorpion guy, and just hit him, right? And then she jumps across and she's trying to unlatch the train, right? Because it's, well, you know, part of it is being pulled. She tries to unlatch. I'm like, how come you didn't use the sonic in that situation to like you just used it to drop some stuff, but you can't use it to unlatch the train? You know, because if you're going to use the sonic screwdriver as much as she does, you should be using for everything. Every single opportunity you have, you should be using it. You know, considering you're already overdoing it. There's a guy like at one point. Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. There's a guy at one point. The whole group went to Tesla's lab, which was underwhelming in their opinion, right? They expected so much more, and it's because he's not funded. He doesn't have any money, right? And they explained that later on as well. And some, I guess, a spy hired by Edison is like taking pictures. The first thing she does, she pulls out a sonic screwdriver and points it at him, and then reads it. What did you do? Like, what did the screwdriver just do for you in that moment? What did it do? Because she read it like to find out who he was.
Yeah,
what does the screwdriver do now? I don't even know
whatever they needed to do.
I don't even remember what originally the screwdriver did anymore, because she just does everything with it. You know, every single thing. Back to that train scene. Homeboy was about to electrify her with his Lord Voldemort powers that he had. And then how did he miss? I mean, I get they detached the train, but like, it's electricity, you know? And he like hit the thing that she was trying to unlatch. I don't know. It was a little crazy of an episode.
It was dumb.
It was a really dumb episode. There was a lot of dumb things, yeah.
And Nikola Tesla's reaction when he enters the TARDIS. They're working so hard
to avoid
nobody
saying it.
ever says it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
He goes, the internal dimensions transcend the externals. And it's like, fuck you.
Just
fuck you.
Yeah,
just
that really annoyed me. That really annoyed me, because you could just say it. Come on. Like, stop. Why are they holding off so much on it? It's really dumb. They are sucking the life out of Doctor Who, you know, with this show and with this series. And it's just so many dumb things too that happened. There was a point where they, the group of them, which by the way, one thing that I could appreciate about this episode, they were all, well, not they were all, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham were all wearing period pieces. Like they were actually wearing clothing
That's true.
that fit the era, which, you know, like in previous doctors, you know, like when they travel to different worlds, to different times, that's what they do, right? So they actually did that with them three, but you know, the doctor, she was still wearing her normal clothes that she wears. She couldn't even have a hat, you know? And by the way, they've been doing that more, at least like in the spy episode, same thing. They've been fitting the theme a little bit better. So I can appreciate that. What I can't appreciate is some of the dumb things that they ask, right?
I would rather them wear fucking regular clothes. That'd be a better story.
So they're walking up to, I think, Tesla's office or Tesla's lab, right? And there's a bunch of people standing outside with signs. The first question Ryan asks, "Who are they?" Tesla's respond, "Protesters." What are they protesting about? But it's like,
Read the fucking sign.
they're literally yelling what they're protesting, and you get what I'm saying? Like as a logical person, right? If you see a bunch of people holding signs, I mean, aside from like a car wash here in LA, you know, like the people
If they're not spitting the signs, they're protesting.
They're protesting. It's obvious. It's like they really think you're dumb.
Yeah.
And that's what their goal is to like explain because you know what? Because there's no story. You know, that's the real reason they have to explain all these little things to you. It was such a dumb moment that and I feel like you pick up more on those moments because you're just annoyed at this point with the show. And it's sad. I do like the Doctor. You know, I do like Doctor Who, and it's getting a little too, like you said, too much telling and too much. You know, like they're protesting. Oh, why not just be like, hey, what's going on? Like, why are they protesting you, Tesla? You know, like explain. You know. It got really cheesy. There could have been a more smooth transition to the story. I don't know what else to say about this episode besides that.
No need. We can move on.
It's sad.
It was a shitty episode.
Yeah, Scorpina didn't work out. Yeah, the extended TARDIS ship to protect them. Oh, like, and then a lot of like has that been done before with the Doctor too? Like at one point she used the shield and extended the shield from the TARDIS.
I mean it's like a natural extension on the shield.
Okay.
Because it came out in the ninth Doctor.
Oh, okay.
When they step out of the shield and the Daleks all just shoot at them.
Yeah.
Like they can't hit them.
Yeah. By the way, she also in this episode did that thing that you don't like that she does, where she
face
is around. No.
Talk.
B.
Preach.
No. She was like, no, don't kill it, and then killed him. It's like she wants to be the murderer.
Yes, let me do it.
because they pulled out that weapon and they were gonna shoot that one dude, right? And he was like, she was like, no, don't kill him. Like, why would you do that? Who was gonna kill him? Ryan, probably. Like, she's always trying to tell somebody to stop trying to kill somebody. And then the first thing she does when she genocides. You know, like she took out a whole like people, even though she had just said, don't kill him. Not just, but through the episode said, hey, don't kill him. But by the way, let's lightning strike you or whatever, or electrify your whole ship. And literally they all disintegrated and killed the whole people. Yeah,
not just that. She made sure that they were on the ship.
All of them.
She made sure they were on the ship.
All of them.
They're like, they're not on the ship. Teleport them. I'll wait.
Yeah, yes. That's exactly what it was. You know, it was. So, I mean, again, she just killed them. You know, she killed them. That it was nothing more than what she had already said, you know. And then the last thing was, she tells us the history of Tesla and energy. And why also the fuck did Yasmin not know how important this moment was? You know, she was so oblivious.
They're all stupid.
Yeah. Wait, and Graham, by the way, was very like non-existent in this episode. Like he was just there.
Yeah.
You know, he really didn't say much. Ryan, same thing. But Yaz, is being moved forward a little bit. I feel like
God, you have no idea what they're doing with Jazz.
Oh no.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting so bad.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin things, but there's just something that I want to complain about.
Okay. But that was it. Another bad. At least this episode wasn't as bad, but I did struggle a little bit to get through it. I fell asleep the first time, to be honest. So
I get it.
yeah.
At some point, I just started writing news while I watched this.
Well, on to the next one.
My brain. All right, let's get the Doctor Who out of our Doctor Who taste out of our mouth.
Yes.
SexPatrol.
How appropriate. SexPatrol. Yes. We got the. Well, there was a lot that happened in this episode. By the way, it was
Jesus Christ.
It was
this
packed.
episode was fucking crazy.
Oh, my man is back. That's all I needed in this show.
Quick aside.
Quick aside.
Okay, so I got ParamountPlus for the Halo.
Yes.
And one of the shows that they have on it is Ghost.
Okay.
They have it down as an original CBS show, and that's bullshit because it's a remake of the British version of Ghost.
Oh, okay.
But Flex is in it as a Viking.
Is he naked?
No, he's actually very covered.
Fuck.
Because he's a Viking, so he's got like.
Oh, he's a Viking ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, when does this take place? Yeah. Oh.
But the American version is not that bad.
It's not
like,
that bad.
I prefer the British one.
Okay.
The original. But
yeah. How many seasons? So one so far.
Yeah. So far just one.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Flex and Flex and morally corrupt are back in these episodes, which was great. I like both those characters. Flex a lot more.
I laughed so hard when Flex tells Dorothy, he's like, "Why the long face?" And she goes, "That's just how I look."
Poor Dorothy.
That made me laugh so hard.
That poor child.
But then, like, seeing him with Dorothy, like the way he interacted with her, that made my ovaries tingle.
Oh my god.
Even I was like, "Oh my!"
Oh, because he was so sweet. Oh yeah, he was being super sweet. He's a hypersexual character though. Like that was the whole point of him being back, and I was okay with that. You know, definitely made my this episode for me. It was my dear Flex. So the whole episode, I might need like 20. You know what I'm saying? But this whole episode was basically about rebuilding Danny, because Danny's just a brick and it's broken, right? Yeah. So this is why the Denizens come back, right? The Denizens come back. We get Morally and Flex, which are the main two Denizens now, and then obviously a huge group of other people we don't know. They're just like background characters, which was really cool. Again, good to see them back. Morally, same thing. Like she's really an interesting character, you know, and I like that they that at least we got some, at least for now, like I don't know how far this is gonna go, and spoilers, you know, but we got some closure on the characters for now. Yeah, you know, I hope they come back, especially Mentalo, Flex.
Town boy.
But yeah, it was a lot of revolving around that.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the?
I liked this episode.
Yeah.
Scarlet Harlot stole my heart.
Scarlet. Oh yes. Oh, Jane God. As Scarlet Harlot, amazing. She looks so hot.
That
too.
totally did it for me.
Yeah. Which is again why the name of this episode was very appropriate. Yeah, she's gorgeous. She looked really good that way.
Yeah. It was such a good episode. Dorothy kind of gets on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah, she's also in the way a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I just feel it's. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah,
because I do feel bad for her.
Yeah,
and I understand what they're doing with the character.
Yeah,
and I know that the way she's acting is the way she's supposed to be acting. Yeah, so it's not like she's annoying just for the sake of being annoying. Like she's annoying for a reason. Yeah. But she's getting on my nerves.
Do you think that if they would have made her an adult, just like Niall's daughter, but just older? I mean, obviously she's 103/4. Yeah, is what they were saying. But I feel like because she's a child, it's number one awkward. You know, especially in this type of environment that she's in, or that she was in this episode with the Denizens and everything like that. Yeah. I feel like if they would have made her older, she might have fit everything quite better. in this situation.
Maybe I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
yeah, she kind of gets on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah.
But one thing that made me laugh was when Larry was dancing and somebody just comes up and starts dancing behind him.
Yeah.
I bet you're fit as fuck under those bandages.
Yeah.
Thanks. If I take them off, everybody dies.
Yeah, they melt. Yeah. Yeah. And Cyborg came back in this one too. There wasn't much said about Cyborg. Larry, Cyborg were kind of like in the background, quite a bit. But, it's fine. Like the story wasn't really like
revolving around them.
Yeah, but we got this whole like Rita storyline, which is why Flex is also there, right? Because Rita is trying to figure out how to be completely in control of her powers, because she can do it sometimes. She just avoids. Doesn't do it right other times. So Flex is kind of the person that she's hoping can help her realize what's going on. And it gets pretty dark, like the whole story of, what's going on. Her mother was basically screwing like some producer or something like that in order to get her roles into get her roles in movies, So it was a very adult themed, and then you had you had Dorothy, and then you also had young Rita, like kind of in the background, like you're seeing the story, and that's what kind of makes it darker, you know. It was kind of uncomfortable in that sense, because you have what Flex is going through, and then what Flex is putting Rita through. I don't know how else to say it, Okay, he's creating this sexual energy to let Rita release, right?
Yeah.
With his Flex powers. He's not looking at her. He's like glued to a wall, because of his, I guess that's what he's doing, flexing. And Rita's going through these visions in her head of when her mom did what she did to get her roles, And it got really dark, and that's where this other situation just starts going off,
Yeah.
The sex men come in. Sex men? Was that their call? Another really interesting random ass group, like team.
Yeah.
What was it? Kiss, Cuddles, and what was the lady's name?
I don't remember.
Torture.
Was it?
Kiss and Torture to Save the World. Was it not Torture?
I didn't write the names down.
Oh, okay. Now I don't know if that's right now.
Potential worldwide sextinction.
Yeah.
At some point I wrote, this is a porno.
Because it was. It again, there was a lot of sexual. Flesh just does that though,
But then I was like, of course Niles knows the sex man.
Yeah. Niles knows everybody though,
But of course he would come into contact with the sex man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because he fucked that horse.
Yeah. He fucks everything. It's been established.
But I also laughed how the van controls are
dildos.
Yeah, butt plugs.
Oh, I didn't see it. Adolfo was like, "Oh, did you see what he was holding on to?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, dildo." I just figured that's what it was. Crazy.
But I did laugh when it's like, you chose your nickname and you chose Cuddles. He was like, it was either that or hand stuff.
Yeah, stuff. So the reason that, again, they were trying to restore Danny, so they're creating a party, which also led to some sexual energy with Rita and Flex, right?
Yeah.
And
we also had Cliff on ecstasy.
Yes, he was. Yeah, a robot doing a robot. But so the reason I brought that up is because Rita, because of what she was going through sexually, ended up summoning some crazy demon ghost thing, which was like a sex demon.
Yes. Shadowy Mr. Evans.
Shadowy Mr. Evans, yes. Crazy.
That was...
It was a bizarre ass scene.
Yeah.
Right?
The whole show is bizarre.
It is, which is why I think it's just okay. I was going to say, like, which is why it's just okay and it fits, exactly, I like how you thought about that for a second. Yeah, so you want to tell about Shadowy Mr. Evans?
Shadowy Mr. Evans is a sex demon with a... What's that thing on its head?
A telescope? They called it a scope of sorts.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, with a telescope on his head that he when there's sexual energy, when there's a lot of sexual energy,
Yeah.
he appears and he gives birth to a baby.
Yes.
And if the baby cries, it ends the world.
Yes. Because of crazy sexual energy.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna be fucking, basically.
Yeah. Even the ghosts were fucking.
Yeah.
They summoned ghosts were summoned, or not intentionally, but they just appeared and they were fucking because of this crazy energy stuff that was going on.
Yes. So
which is why the sex men were there.
Yeah, so when the sex men find them, they can't enter the room without orgasming.
Yes.
Orgasming? Without coming.
Oh my god.
So you see the first guy go in and like he is immediately just rendered useless.
Yes.
And they're like, Cliff, you got to go in there because you're the only one that can't orgasm. He's like, I'm high. But then, so Jane finds a guy in the van, Cuddles.
Yeah.
And he explains to her what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
he explains it to Dr. Harrison, right?
Is it to Dr. Harrison?
He was Dr. Harrison at the
point. Yeah. But he mentions how it'll basically something with kids. Like it gets rid, like there'll be no more kids or something like that.
Yeah.
And
they'll all go poof, basically.
Yeah. And I think for her, she's like, oh, I have to protect the little girl.
Yeah. Okay, right.
So she goes back in and she goes into that room and she immediately starts,
Yes. Yes.
And so she's fighting through it, and you just see this sex demon with this big belly.
Yes.
And a baby comes out.
Yes.
You just see this dude give birth.
It just pops out. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, the way she took that baby out was good. Because Cliff was like, you want me to go in there and kill a fucking baby?
Yeah.
I'm high.
Yeah.
But she grabbed the baby, and before it cries, she returned to sender.
Oh my god.
She puts it right back where it came from.
Yeah, yeah. It might have been what's her name? Hammerhead, right?
Yeah,
because Hammerhead was the most persistent about like saving her.
Yeah, protecting the kid,
exactly. And yeah, that was it. Like it got stuck back into him.
Yeah. So I mean, we haven't even spoken about what's going on with Jane, because Jane is in the cage still.
Yes.
And the personality on top is just painting.
Yeah,
and she's like, "This is all I do. Like this, I just paint."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, you're not even enough to leave." So they're trying to figure out what personality to put on top.
Yeah, yeah.
And, at the end of the episode, though, when they kind of see what goes on top and why she's staying with the Doom Patrol, they're like, "Well, I guess." It seems like they all kind of come to a decision that it's best to stay because that's the best way to protect the kid.
Yeah, yeah.
So Jane gets her spot.
Comes back, yeah, exactly. And I thought that was pretty cool because they at least, because we got a few different personalities. We got Dr. Harrison, we got Scarlet Harlot. She looked really great. God. Yeah, no, she did look really great. Like very, pinup style, like gorgeous, right? We got Hammerhead came through, the painter came through. There's
Scarlet Harlot.
I knew you would like her, yeah. And so like I guess they could have tied Scarlet Harlot maybe into more of the sexual energy. Stop. It's more of the sexual energy because I don't understand what her power was. What was her power?
I know what her power was.
Oh my god! Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like maybe it was a combination, and they just didn't elaborate more that she was also part of it.
Because that was a lot of energy.
But again, this is how I even felt about Flex coming back. So it was a very sexually driven episode, and that's why everything happened. And in the background, you had Dorothy kind of dealing. Yeah,
Dorothy was in this.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's kind of what made the episode a little awkward, because Dorothy is a kid, essentially, even though she's 100 years old.
I was thinking, like, does that mean their brain ages slower too?
Because of the way she still like reacts and acts.
She's still childish.
Yeah.
So Candlemaker is trying to make her disobey Niles.
Yeah, and he's kind of working. Yeah. It works. Excuse me. Sorry.
And he mentions to her like, Danny's not your friend. He's your prison.
Yeah, yeah.
And she asked Danny. She says, "So were you ever my friend, or were you my prison?" And he responds,
"I wasn't just your friend."
They respond with, "I wish I could say I was just your friend."
Yeah, yeah. And well, again, because essentially they were the prison for Dorothy for the longest, and And you can tell that Danny just wants to be honest about the
Yeah.
situation. And Dorothy, of course, is torn up and she's about to kill somebody. Who was she going to kill?
Danny.
Oh, she was going to kill Danny. That's
Yeah.
right. Because, well, she can't help but feel the way that she's been feeling.
She doesn't want Danny
Yeah.
to grow back into her prison.
Yeah, because they don't want to. She doesn't want to get stuck, Dorothy. And it's kind of it's sad, But I also do agree with what like they need to. Like I agree a lot with Danny, like Niles really needs to stop trying to keep her caged up because it's not resolving the issue, and the issue being Candlemaker, right? Candlemaker seems like they can really like destroy a world as well as long as Dorothy wishes, and it's building up to that type of situation. Like you can feel this craziness happening with Dorothy. She's going through an emotional roller coaster because of everything that she's been through in prison, essentially, and then kind of the way Rita was acting towards her, like in this episode, where Rita kind of took on the role of her own mom and was like, hey, you shouldn't worry about being like, I guess,
because earlier in the episode she called her beautiful.
Yeah, she did.
And then later on she's like, "Am I really beautiful?" And she goes, "Oh, honey, you have other talents. Focus on those."
Yeah, exactly. Which is again what
her mom told her.
What Rita's mom told her. So and she's torn up. It's a lot going on. And even at the end, like where she tried to she finally was able to shut off Candlemaker. And Candlemaker doesn't want to talk to her anymore.
He's petty as fuck.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, "Do not talk to me.
Yeah,
go talk to your other friends."
Yeah. And again, is it a personality in her head though, or is it like just a real other being that exists somewhere else? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, they do. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Danny refuses to become a street again.
Yes, and this is exactly where I was going with it too. They end up becoming a tire to start.
Yeah. So they're eventually going to be an RV?
A bus?
Yeah.
Party bus?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, again, because they don't want to keep anybody in a prison, essentially.
Yeah.
Especially not Dorothy.
He wants to be able to go wherever he wants to go.
Yep. That's true.
Although, as a traveling street, I'm pretty sure
you can go. Yeah, you can go wherever you want to go. Yeah, and there is kind of an end to the denizens, like I said, as well. They all Mora, Flex and Area and all the other ones kind of gathered together and they just get teleported away.
Yeah.
To continue like helping Danny live, I guess. So again, it was a cool callback to those characters, and I think a way to kind of dismiss them.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
Give them their ending.
Yes.
At least.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe we'll see Danny as a bus someday, or something.
I'm down for that.
Volkswagen, a Beetle. Yeah. But that was it. Anything else you want to add about this episode? It was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
Craziness, but good.
Yeah, I think I got everything.
Cool.
Robot Man did open up a little bit about his feelings to Niles, and that's when Niles decided to give him the
ecstasy. Like that's helpful.
Drugs solve everything, kids.
Shush. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing else aside from just it being a good episode too.
Oh, and also, I don't think I mentioned this, the appearance of Scarlet Harlot.
Oh, yeah, and Flex came back.
Oh, so did Rita.
A lot.
To back.
Sex demons. But yeah.
All right, so we started episode 2 of DMZ.
Yes, we did. We started or we finished?
Both.
We saw episode 2 of DMZ. Adevent. That was the name of the episode.
That's what I got here.
You're right with your no notes. Okay. So what were your overall feelings about this episode?
Scale doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've told you that.
I mean, yeah, but I was hoping it'd be a little better, but just that story doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
The whole... I mean, one, I don't think the actor really fits the role.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't find the story interesting either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems a little too cliche with the whole with him. You didn't lose me. I ran away from you, and it's like what we've seen doesn't fit that revelation, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he looked like a terrified little boy. Like there was no confidence to him at all.
Yeah.
So for
That's
him
true.
to say like, "Oh, you didn't lose me. I ran away," and it's like you look like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I mean, even now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you look terrified. Like
Yeah.
you didn't run away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't think that fit.
Yeah.
The whole Parko
Versus Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, I like that.
I like that too.
And I like the Odie story.
Yes.
Like I think he's so far been the heart of the show.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been her love for her son.
Yeah.
It's been this little kid that, seeing him survive in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And seeing how selfless he can be too.
Yes, exactly. And I do have to agree with you, and especially about the scale thing. And I said this in the previous episode. It just was like, I don't get the character, even though I don't know the character. That guy doesn't, to me, portray like you said, the same character, right? Same thing. I like the Parko Wilson thing. I did feel like this episode, compared to the first one, like they just ran as fast as they could in this episode with like kind of the what they were trying to say about the story. And I feel like it got a little rushed in this episode to condense as much as they did into the episode, because a lot happened. If you think about it, a lot happened, but it was maybe too much for a single episode, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So and of course, Odie, like, to me, same thing. I still like this little story, the story that they're telling with Odie. But I guess I'm kind of confused now about like where they wanted to go with it, because with Alma's story, it kind of almost like came to an end in a sense of like, well, she found her kid, and she found her kid, and her kid was an asshole, like at this point. And of course, it's 7 years later. He's like 23 or something like that, 24. Mm-hmm. But it was like, it really, like, to me, there was no build up to that, to the way he reacted, the way she found him. Like, it got really, really rushed, and I think it kind of pulled me back a little bit, and I was like, oh, like, compared to what we got in the first episode, we just went straight into a wall, and that's kind of what affected me about this episode. Yeah.
Also, I don't like that. So the what you painted on the wall, for him to know it was her.
Yeah.
It just seems like such a generic line.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like we've only heard her say that to her kid once,
right? When she lost him,
which is just like eyes up, like look up, love, or
eyes
something
forward,
like
eyes
forward, love.
Yeah, something
and
like that.
It's like it seems like such a generic line.
Yeah,
like to me there was no emotion behind it. Like there's no. I think they wanted it to hit a little harder than it did.
Yeah.
Because like when he sees it, all of a sudden he's like, oh, my mom's back. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, and. I they should have stuck to the idea. Well, and again, I don't know how the graphic novel goes or anything like that, right? But they should have stuck to the idea that he was lost, because I feel like then it would have hit more emotionally, You
could have built that emotion.
You could have built that emotion, right? Like you could have had him kind of torn up about, damn, like, I'm this killer now, right? But instead, I'm this killer now, and then my mom's back. Like, I do have some, even if it was just those words, right? Like, there's still kind of now an emotional, like being torn emotionally.
Yeah.
Like the reason you are Skell now is because you lost your mom, and your dad's an asshole, and that's why you're an asshole now, type of thing. Instead, they were just like straight up, no, like, I always wanted to be an asshole. You were holding me back from being an asshole, mom. And that, again, that's just where the decline in the story kind of happened fast, right? For me, it's like she found him, and he's like, I've always wanted to have this power.
It's like the writers of the show didn't even like him.
So it's like they're going to kill him off or something. You're like, I mean, he's a killer, like, so he's going to just like end. But that's a really good point,
Yeah. So we have the scene where she finds him.
Yeah.
And she keeps calling him like, "Oh, Christian, don't call me that."
Yeah.
And then it's petulant child.
Yeah.
Like that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
And later on, when he meets that girl, he's like,
the first thing he did.
my name's Christian.
Yeah, the first thing he did was call himself Christian. Even Adolfo said that. He was like, did he just call himself Christian? Even though he didn't say he doesn't like being called that. Yeah, it made no sense. Which, by the way, Tenny being introduced, I guess we'll see more about her. Beautiful woman. Like the singing, the vibe, gorgeous. Like I was all for her.
Down boy.
I was all for her being introduced, but then again, it again flipped him. It's like he went from being an asshole, or excuse me, from being a kid, like a kind of a scrawny kid, to being an asshole, to still being an asshole. But then all of a sudden, like he's fallen in love, with this gorgeous woman, and he's the nicest person. And his name is Christian again. Yeah.
Women make us do weird shit. Okay.
Well,
I feel like that's accurate.
but and I get that they've been running into each other, or he's been eyeing her for a while. It felt really rushed.
I get it.
It felt really rushed. So that's one thing. I go back now. We can talk about even like the Wilson and pay attention. We're doing a podcast, bro. I clearly. I did like the whole Wilson story. I'm still really in for this, especially when he he's a really attractive man. Oh my god, he's so sexy. Anyway, where they're explaining their story is making sense. Like, for example, his gold is being stolen, and they kind of narrow it down to being the three people that know where his gold is anyway, and I like the way he handled it. I mean, it was pretty crazy scene.
Either I'm right or
what
was it? He goes, either I'm right,
or one of you will confess or something like that, right? I don't remember the exact line, so he made these three dudes strip. I didn't get that part. Now that I think about it, I was okay with it in the moment.
That's true.
Why did he make this strip? Anyway, he puts three guys in like a basement, which are the three guys that know where his gold is. And he makes them strip, tells them like, one of you guys is giving away my money. And I need a confession, otherwise I'm going to bring your families, or the two others' families.
Probably just to make them feel more vulnerable.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. I guess, and that makes sense for his character.
Yeah.
Because he came in super nice to them. Good to see you guys. Giving them hugs, all smiles, and then instantly,
that flip.
Yeah, instantly is like, who's giving away my shit? I'm gonna have to murder one of you.
Yeah.
And just the way he just flipped like that character's really, how he went from being an orderly and now being this like guy in power is so interesting. And
it's kind of like what happened with Negan.
Yeah, where he became a good guy.
Well, no, like just going from a PE teacher.
Oh yeah.
before everything happened to like this ruthless leader of the saviors.
Yeah. Crazy.
That just made me think of that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But yeah, because Skell is the one that's taking his money, right?
Yeah. We see Skell take out the guys playing basketball.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he finds the gold in that place.
Yeah. So apparently 3 times it's happened. Like the 3 stashes have been hit.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, oh, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's someone's telling him where it's at.
Yeah, and the person that kind of makes him realize this is like I guess just like an advisor that he has, who gives him books, is what he was saying, and he was like, look, somebody's giving away your money. It's clear that it would be connected to those people. You might have rats in your group, And yeah, it was cool to see that kind of that story, and what he's trying to find out. We do get more Parco as well.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on Parco so far?
I like Benjamin Pratt. Like I think I think he oozes out charisma.
Yeah.
Especially in this. Like he's captivating. When like he's great to watch. The way he acts, the way he carries himself, like you believe he's this character.
Yeah.
And even when he's being nice, like you could see that
underlying,
he's not a good person. But it's so well done. Like I really like the way he plays the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really
No, I mean it's true. He does, and by the way, both of those characters in their debate, like the charisma that both of them had, and then like it was so captivating, right? Like you get Parko talking his game, right? Like he to the crowd and stuff like that. And like you're like, damn, like all for it, all into it. And then Wilson, you know, steps in and at first he starts calmly and then he gets more and more like kind of outspoken and you know, captivating. And again, both of those characters you're just like drawn into every time they're speaking, you're drawn into them. And I think that's great, especially the way that they're supposed to be rival. They're running for governorship. Yeah. The way they're supposed to, like they're being like, towards each other was crazy. Earlier on, we also get so Wilson eventually says that he knows where Skell is, right?
Because he didn't know him as Christian.
Oh, that's right. He knew him as Skell.
Yeah. So when he tells him, he's like, "Oh, I found my son."
Yeah.
His name's like they call him Skell.
Skell.
And
Yeah.
Like, do you know where he is now?
Yeah. Don't you feel it was like it's too easy the way Alma's just been traveling between these two different areas?
Especially because of how dangerous they make it seem.
Yeah.
And there's this one part where, like I would like to see more where she's trying to go. I think she's trying to go see Una. And
he travels through like a bridge area.
Well, Odie stops her and he's like, no, you can't go that way. That's where the cannibals are.
Right.
And it's like, hold on, like, let her go that way. I want to see this.
At least, right?
Yeah. But you're right. It does seem like she's moving around the DMZ a little too easily, especially with all these different factions.
Yeah.
So you'd think it would be a little more dangerous.
Yeah. But she literally goes from Parko's place where she almost gets killed by the girl that he's with. I can't remember her name. Do you remember her name?
Rosa. I have no idea.
Her name was Carmen. Carmen, which is Parko's love interest in this episode. She gets to his house and she's just like there, you know, and it's just like she's just visiting.
She found him very easily.
Yeah, she found him really easily, and it doesn't seem like it should be that easy, right? He's like making pancakes, whatever, right? Yeah. They get into a fight. Carmen and Alma get into a fight. That was pretty crazy. But then she leaves Parko's place after she finds out Christian's side name, or, you know, Skell, right? And goes to Wilson's place, and it's just again, she just like walks in. Hey, I'm here to see him.
Especially when they made it such a big deal in the first episode about seeing him.
Yeah.
When Rose told her like, oh, you can't just walk in and see him.
Yeah.
But that's like she literally just walks up to him.
Yeah, she's just like strolling along, going to places, like no issues. And it's and even I think the only time that in this situation where you get some sense of like again are people protecting areas is when she goes to see Una. Yeah. Right. Which out of nowhere, a name just drops and they're like, "Oh yeah,
everybody's looking for Una's support."
Yeah. But then, does she know Una from before?
No.
Because how does she know Una's name?
You know what? I have no idea.
Because she was just like, "Oh yeah, you got to get." She told Wilson, "Oh yeah, you got to get Una on your side," and I was just kind of like, "Why? Who's Una?" Like I thought it was somebody I missed earlier.
That's what I assumed.
So
because I remember Parko talking about her, but I don't think he was talking to Alma about it.
No, I don't think so either.
But yeah, because she mentions how she's like, oh, Una called for me personally.
Yeah.
But Una, the first thing she says is, oh, you're a liar.
Yeah, like and captures her, and we kind of learn that Una is the one in control of like the water system. Yeah. Right. She's like she mentioned. Oh, like everybody was looking for guns or food, and I knew that the first thing for me to look for was like the water supply. Yeah, because that's what people are gonna want. I'm gonna be the one in power, essentially. You know. Yep. And yeah, like so she, but again, she kind of just strolls to Una's place, and it's really I don't think they established what Alma's intentions were. Yeah, you know, because it's like why are you going to Una? You know, until much later. You know what I'm saying? Like, or during the conversation of like talking to Una, and you know, that's when she kind of reveals kind of what she wants to do. Sure. Well, she said that like, well, I'm just trying to get like, she's trying to destroy Parko at this point. But I don't know. Again, I don't know if they established that. I don't know if they had set up this whole idea aside from, you know, being upset at him. Yeah. Like now all of a sudden she's aiming to destroy his political career and him in general, right? So Stop. You're terrible.
Thank you.
No. No, not me. I don't have anything to do with that. It was a rush story, this episode.
I can see that. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the beginning, and probably about 15 minutes in, I was like, I don't like this episode.
Yeah.
But because that was all the focus on the scale part.
Yeah.
But I feel like once we got past that,
Yeah.
then we started opening up a little more into the DMZ, and I was all for that.
Yeah. So we also got the debate, right? Which was a really good debate between the two, Wilson and Parko, right?
Yes.
What were your thoughts about what happened, like with Una in that scene?
I thought it was cheesy. So Una comes out and she does her speech and she's just like, I'm throwing my support behind Alma. And everyone's Z.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's Z?
Nobody fucking knew.
Yeah, and I was like, she just shows up and like that heroic pose from the top, and it's like this felt cheesy. It doesn't feel like it fits.
Yeah.
Like you have this strong character all of a sudden just giving you her entire support from one conversation.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem to fit right.
Yeah. But
then of course Alma goes. I mean, Alma. Yeah. She goes and gives that support to Wilson.
Yeah. And then, by the way, here's a water parade.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's like, we brought water for everybody.
Yeah.
Shots.
If clean filtered water for everybody, you're welcome. But that's really what it was like, though. Like, it was like this huge, like, cheering and support for Z, who nobody even knew.
Yeah.
But
she's got water.
And I'm throwing my support behind, Una is supporting Z, and Z is supporting Wilson.
It's a trade of support.
It was a little convoluted, for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And you're right, like, the posing on top of the water. I don't know what it was.
Tank.
And then the speech she gave, it was cheesy. And then I didn't get the connection between Tenny and Wilson. Was that it wasn't his daughter, right? Because remember, she showed up to support him, and she was like on his side. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that at all.
So Tenny shows up. So Scale is there with Parko at the debate. And they had romanticized, like they had a little rendezvous, did their thing. And what I'm not with Parko, excuse me, with Tenny and Scale.
I was like, I really missed it.
I was like, wow, that was a dad.
What were you watching?
No, I mean, Scale and Tenny had built like this kind of moment where, they were intimate earlier on.
They boned.
But they were intimate. Anyway, and then later on, at the debate, Scale is with Parko because that's his dad. Tenny shows up and goes to greet Wilson and, kisses him on the cheek. And then I think he says something along the lines of like, your dad would be very proud to Tenny, right? And then you see Scale and Tenny spot each other and they're kind of like, oh shit, realizing that they're on opposing sides.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't?
Not at all. Like not even a little.
Well, because they made it a point to introduce Tenny and Scale in that moment, so that's why I noticed it. It almost kind of went into like this Romeo and Juliet situation in my head, because they're opposing sides, So, but yeah, so you missed that part, and then Odie's story. Want to talk about Odie's story a little bit? Well, what happened in this one? Well, not much happened. It's just sad.
Not much
just
happened.
A little sad story.
Z asked him, like, do you have somewhere to stay?
Yeah.
He's like, no. And she's like, do you want to stay with me at the hospital?
Yeah.
And yes.
Well, he knew Rose was dead. He said that.
Yeah.
He like, I know she's dead. And then but he also did do that helmet thing. With the homeless guy.
Yeah. So there's this homeless guy, and he's a lot like homeless people now, which are just talking about random things, and he seems to believe that he's talking to God, and he finds this helmet, like this army helmet, and the helmet has
Odie finds the helmet.
Yeah,
right?
Odie finds this helmet, and the helmet has writing on it that just says, "Just you and me, right, God?"
Yeah.
So he takes that helmet and he risks himself because his friend is telling him like, we gotta go, like we gotta go, like they're coming. We don't see who, but like Odie sticks around a little bit till he can get his hands on that helmet, and he brings it to this homeless man.
Yeah,
who is very grateful for it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That was it. I mean, but Odie's selflessness,
and
like
I'm
you said.
sure that's the only reason that scene is there for.
Yeah, and Odie and Alma are gonna be living together in the hospital, in the clinic, hospital.
Yeah, sure.
Overall, it was a little rushed for me. Too much story. I feel like trying to go on in one episode. Maybe if they would have slowed it down a little bit, maybe 2 episodes. The whole impact of scale would have been a little bit more impactful. Like for me. But it wasn't bad. It's just it was a lot in the second episode. So we'll see what the third one's like.
Yeah. So now, ParamountPlus had the premiere of Halo. I don't know what I'm going to my notes for because there's nothing there.
Jose. Okay. Season 1, episode 1, Contact was the name of the first episode. You're welcome.
That's what I got here.
Halo. So Paramount Plus. Can I have a quick note about Paramount Plus? It is fucking trash of an app of a whatever. It is a streaming service. I literally watched like 20 minutes of the episode and then had to pause it for a while. And it for some reason, for the life of me, it would not play afterwards. Right. So I had to stop it. And then it stopped and then it started over. And I had already seen 20 minutes of it. Right. So it started over. There's no chapter selection. There's nothing, which is, I mean, most streaming services don't do that. Fine.
Can you fast forward?
I fast forwarded, Jose.
Right.
Thank you very much, bitch. Anyway, I fast forwarded, right? The maximum time that it goes is times 3, and it only does about 15 seconds at a time. Well, the way it looks, it's like it's showing you 15 seconds. It's not going anywhere, right? I do it one time. I press play at about 15, maybe 16 minutes. I hit play. It crashes. Okay. Do it again. Get to the 18 mark. I'm like, maybe it won't crash this time. It crashed again. So I came up with a genius idea, which actually worked. I was pretty impressed with myself. I went to the app on my phone, selected it to 19 minutes, and then I played it on my TV. It worked. It worked. Fuck that app. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's not intuitive. It's not responding like as well as it should. And people are paying money for this, people need, these streaming services in general need to step it up because at least chapters, bitch, so I don't have to go all the way back to that was 20 minutes. And then it took me like another 15, 20 minutes just to get the episode to work. Like it shouldn't be that way. I didn't really have the app on my phone. I had to download it in the time that I was trying to do that shit. And it was so bad. It was a bad experience. So that said, we can get into Halo now.
I had no issues with it.
Fuck you.
I even added some stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks interesting."
You added some stuff? What do you mean?
Yeah, to my watch list.
Yeah.
Because
well, you watched it all the way through, though.
Oh, right? Yeah, I watched it all the way
through.
Okay, well, I have a reason to pause.
Well, I did. I was a little busy with other tasks. That sounded weird. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Master Chief really does it for you, huh?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that wasn't the reason, but totally. Anyway, let's talk about it.
Okay, I'm actually curious to hear what you think because I know it's not completely based on the games. It is more of an original story.
Okay.
So I have my thoughts on it, but a lot of it are based on like lore and different things from the games.
Okay. I want to start by saying that I really enjoyed the episode, and I think I'm okay because I want to start by saying actually fuck desert planets. I hate why does every other world that we exist in or that beings exist on
I think
are
it's to
desert
try to make
planets.
it desolate. But you know what? Even in the games, that's not what you get.
That's not what you get?
No, you don't really get desert areas.
I hate that. It just fucking. We just came off of not Mandalorian, Boba Fett. We just came off of Boba Fett, which is on Tatooine, which is a fucking desert planet. We're in Halo now, and we're in a fucking desert planet. You know, I'm like, come on, dude. Let's be original with this shit. You know, because it's like those scenes could honestly be very off-putting. You know, like even.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Even from the beginning, like it's that's where it starts. You know, it's like on a desert planet. You know, and Dune did the same thing, and the original I didn't get into. Stargate did the same thing. It's like, come on, like, no, give me a jungle or some shit like that. You know, give me a waterfall, give me an ocean in another world. I mean, something. It's another world. You know.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the video games, I can't think of a desert level that they have.
Yeah.
They're all green.
Yeah.
They're all forest jungles
Yeah.
and like just these nice, beautiful green areas.
Yeah.
And I think it makes the most sense because those trees are what's producing the oxygen.
Yeah. Okay. It could be blue.
Yeah.
Blue trees. I don't know. Some shit. It's an alien planet. So that said, though, I thought the episode was really good. And I'm going based on not having a lot of Halo experience.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the Quan character that they introduced.
I thought she was stupid.
Why?
Well,
she was a little scared. She was a lot scared.
No, but so we have the scene where Miranda Keyes is talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, if like we need you to record something and let people know that the Covenant are real."
Yeah,
because they say at some point, like in one of the resistance fighters, he mentions like, I didn't think they were real. I thought they were propaganda.
Yeah.
And she's like, we need you to record something to let people know that these things are real.
Yeah.
And that they're an actual threat.
Yeah.
And she's like, I could just say that the Spartans did this.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you. Stop being stupid.
And you know what? I was upset at her about that too, because it's like, wait, they just saved you, the only person who lived from your planet. And you're going to say that they're the ones that killed you. And I get it. Your dad wanted fucking independence for his planet.
Yeah, but still, like...
It didn't make sense.
It was stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was stupid for her to put up a protest. And that first scene, I mean...
Oh my... Bloody.
I
was not expecting
Neither was I. I was like, super shocked.
That first kid that just gets blown up.
Yeah.
I was just like,
kids,
wait, what?
Kids, they did not give a fuck. They were just like, let's just kill every fucking body in this thing.
Yeah.
Legs flying off, like heads exploding.
Yep.
It was when she was covered in blood, like pretty instantly. But I thought it was interesting.
Very much so.
Considering, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember watching and
not expecting it.
Yeah, especially because she sees what is clearly a Covenant ship.
Yeah,
and
clearly to you though. Oh, would she have known that? Yeah, right.
Well, okay. I thought you would have because at this point, I know. At this point, it's like the Spartans are there because of the Covenant. Like the Spartans exist mostly because of the Covenant.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
so for her to be like, to see this, what is clearly an alien ship and it's not a UNSC ship.
Yeah.
And for her to be like, oh, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And then.
Well, she did freak out though. She ran.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, once she saw what it was, because she's running and she's like, oh, they're not Spartans. They're not UNSC.
Yeah.
But starting on this planet, fucking Planet Madrigal.
I did see that. I was like, he's gonna love that. This is the year 20.
I was glad they took everybody out of that fucking planet.
Quan lived. Fuck you.
They could have taken her out too.
She is what helps the Madrigals continue forward.
So, it starts off in that bar scene, right? Mm-hmm. Or like, well, we see that bar scene where they're talking about what they faced with the UNSC.
Yeah.
And one guy's like, oh, I faced I've faced this many soldiers. He's like, oh, but you've never faced a Spartan.
Yeah.
Like Spartans are worth say like 100 Marines or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, one thing about difference between Spartans and humans
and Marines,
Marines as like Marines die.
Yeah.
Spartans don't.
Yeah.
And then we get this. They're attacked.
Yeah. They are. They take out, like you said, they take out the whole town, right? They're just taking out people left and right.
Yeah, these elites. And
is that what they're called?
Yeah. So,
but they're part of the Covenant, right?
Yeah, they're part of the Covenant. That's the class. Like they're elites, And then the little ones are grunts, but they didn't make an appearance here.
I was gonna say it. I don't remember little ones.
Yeah. So in Halo, usually there's one elite and like 5 grunts, 5 or 6 grunts. Mm-hmm. So like that's kind of like their battle squad, right? Okay. Usually like one Marine heading 5 or 6 grunts.
Yeah.
So
one elite.
Yeah.
Heading 5 or 6 grunts.
Yeah. Okay. So like he's in charge of these guys.
Oh, you said Marine. That's why.
Oh, sorry. One elite.
No, it's okay.
And So I thought I was like, oh, you don't usually get a squad of elites.
Mm-hmm. Got it. But so, there was a full on squad.
Yeah, this was like just elites. Yeah, it was there was no grunts.
Yeah,
but yeah, like these things come out and just
blowing shit up.
Yeah, like with their plasma pistols, just taking out everything.
Yeah.
The shields were a little too ridiculously strong.
Oh, like they don't go down at all either.
With because they're being shot for a while.
Yeah.
And like the shields aren't going down at all.
Yeah.
But so there's a scene where so the panic room I thought was in the dumbest fucking position.
In the main part of their base, right? Like where they put all the kids in.
And it's not even like underground or anything. Right. It's really easy to find. It's just one door.
Yeah.
And so Quan sees her dad go down.
Yeah.
And tries to go after him. So she climbs out of that panic room.
Yeah.
And one of the elites finds everybody in that room.
Yeah.
And he just
kills everybody.
Yeah, he cleans house.
And was that her brother that like died too?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Because I thought they were trying to make them be related.
Maybe.
Okay. It seemed like it was like her brother.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Because they put a bunch of kids and women, and I mean I don't know if men were in there, like, but there's a bunch of like their civilians basically in there. And yeah, that dude just comes in and just wipes them all out. Like, didn't even think twice. There was not even any hesitation, like, or build up to that moment. Yep. It was just like they're just all dead.
Yeah, like there was no ominously raising your gun. Like nothing. He just looks at him. Brrr, bye.
Like that was it.
And that's when Quan's dad gets loose and like because he was trapped.
Yeah.
He manages to get loose, picks up the gun and like because he thinks his daughter's dead at that point.
Yeah.
So he just starts shooting at that.
Yeah.
And this is when we have this fucking amazing ass entrance.
I have to agree with that. It was a badass entrance to the Spartans.
Yeah. Like just. We see Master Chief land, and then like the rest of Silver Team land around him.
Yes, amazing.
And this also shows you the fear that these humans have towards Spartans.
Yeah,
to where he's trapped between an elite alien that just murdered his family in his eyes, and a Spartan, and he starts shooting at the Spartan. Like he sees a Spartan and he's just like fuck a Spartan, and he just immediately starts shooting at the Spartan. Master Chief just ignores him, does this fucking awesome flip, and just takes out this elite.
It was crazy. That team, like that silver team, was like they were cool, so well designed. I do have to say the CG was a little lame. Like it wasn't. It wasn't great CG.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think for a video game show, like I think it was at least good enough to be like, it could be a TV show.
With how much CG they use, it's serviceable.
Exactly. And again, the transition from a video game to a TV show, it was at least good, but it's kind of trash for this day and age,
Yeah. Oh, so, very much so. I get it.
Yeah. But like there were a lot of like familiar weapons that even I recalled. Like obviously the Covenant's weapons and
the sword, the energy sword, the battle swords, rifles, the assault rifle.
Okay. What else? Snipers, right?
Yeah.
You know this very well.
the plasma, because they had plasma rifles.
Yeah. It was, and then all the angles that you're getting from all the different Spartans, that they were good. I like the mix of I don't know how consistent this is, but there's clearly female Spartans and male, Spartans. So I like the mix of that too because of the designs, man. Like the design, there was a kind of a bulkier Spartan, and the personality very much fit that bulkier Spartan, and he was really cool. Then the two girl like Spartans were the two female Spartans were another like just amazing. Like they were cool. Like I was like so into it, like that whole battle scene and everything that was going on. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
They killed the dad.
So the dad, it looks like it's over, and there's one elite
Yeah.
left, and he's
Yeah.
going after Quan.
Yeah.
And the dad decides to get really close to this elite with his gun,
Yeah.
as opposed to just
Shooting.
shooting him from afar.
I mean, he wasn't gonna do anything anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but one thing that I really like before we get there is so there's a part where one of the silver team is under fire, and she's asking for help, and you have the Master Chief standing on top of a thing, and he's shooting at him, and I really like how the perspective switches, and you get that first person view, and it looks really cool.
It does. It does.
I remember seeing that first time in Doom.
Yeah, and it wasn't good.
It wasn't well done. But here, like, you get to see through the Master Chief's eyes. You get to see that HUD,
which is very which is what they do in the video game, right? Like you're seeing it from a first person point of view, and again, it kind of draws you into that video game a bit more, which is cool. Whereas Doom, it was cheesy, it was cheesy when it was done in there, but in this one, it was done well.
Yeah, so you see Master Chief, and he's standing up there, and you see him getting shot, right? And then you kind of see like that he does have a shield, but when he gets down, you hear that the shields are down. That noise that you hear in the video game.
Oh, cool.
Wow. And then you hear the whoop, with his shields coming back up.
Yeah. I think you would be able to relate that to more because you've been playing the video game more recently too.
I thought that was so cool because like just hearing that sound, I always knew duck.
Yeah,
your shields are down. Duck.
So you got that intensity feel. Cool.
And but then like he sees that minigun. And he throws his CGI ass rifle onto the ground, and it just looks like the worst CGI ever. Like this looks like a PlayStation game. Yeah, not PlayStation 2
or 3 or 4.
This is just a regular PlayStation. Yeah, like you could see the pixels. All right.
Yeah.
It's a terrible CGI rifle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Use a rubber one.
Yeah. At least, right? Yeah. Use practical effects. Make a gun. But you could tell it was low budget, considering. But
I think they spent it all on that armor because that armor looked amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, and then
the
Spartans just in general were really cool looking.
So then you get that scene of Master Chief just picking up that minigun and just mowing everybody down.
Yeah,
I was so into it. Especially like just in the beginning where he first meets up with the elites and they're trying to attack him. Yeah. And one thing that I liked is one of the elites utters out demon. But in a different language, which I found cool because in the games they all just speak English. Cool. Yeah. So you like they call him demon. Like they always refer to the Master Chief as demon.
Why do they have to do alien languages though? Like like you just said in the video game, there was they speak English.
Yes.
So why is it that and I didn't know that, but this was also a conversation I had with him because of something that happens later on. It's like why does there have to be an alien language? Why can't they just speak English? I mean, I'm not saying
I assume it's for realism.
To me, it's not necessary, and I'm not saying that this is America or anything like that. But I'm saying like I'm not saying it that way. I'm just saying,
why can't these aliens speak English?
That's not why I'm saying it. But it's a TV show, and I don't want to read. I don't want to read.
You just want to get that suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. And I don't think you need to do that in a.
But damn well if they did, everybody be like, why do the aliens speak English?
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, they speak English in the video game, though.
They do.
Right? So why the hell do I need them to speak alien in this TV show? That sounds really racist. And
that sounds really racist.
That's not what I'm just saying.
It's okay. This is America.
I'm not saying that. I'm not for that. I believe, it's believable when you have, I guess, when you had Quan speaking to her dad, it made sense, that they were speaking a different language. But also, it didn't make sense now you think about it because they are all speaking English. So now all of a sudden, why are they speaking a different language?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's it was almost believable, but then it's just like you don't need it. Like just give me English. I don't have to read anything.
One thing that I never like is like when they have a Hispanic character, they have to throw in Spanish words just so they speak Spanish.
Yeah,
like they're talking to you like this, and then they go amigo. And it's like, bro, they don't talk like that.
The accents actually kind of drive me a little like mad. Like a random little side note, I was watching with my niece when I was taking care of her. I was watching some DC like superhero girls show that they have, where it was like Jessica Cruz and Batgirl and Wonder Woman, like it's an animated show, and Jessica Cruz had an accent, and I'm a bit offended by that. You know, like it's like, why do I have an accent when I speak? I mean, I don't think so. You know, somebody might notice. Maybe I might say something a little bit like Spanglish. You know, sometimes, but not every Latino person or Hispanic person, Latinx person.
Yeah,
they don't have accents. You don't have an accent, or I mean, it's. I feel they try to push this idea that we have to have accents for everything.
Yeah,
you know, and some of us, you know, some of us have accents, some of us don't. You know,
yeah,
we're just people.
They do it a lot in Justice League, the Young Justice, when they have the Blue Beetle in the later episodes, and of course Jaime Reyes.
Yeah, that's racist.
You know, you get a lot of "Hi, amigo," and that's not right, ese.
My God, that's super racist too.
Yeah,
I'm happy we stopped watching that show.
You stopped watching that.
I
show.
did. That shit was not interesting. I'm sorry. I mean, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, you like Encanto, so that just shows.
Really good. And you notice, okay, some of the characters had accents, you know, but I feel like every character having an accent is too much, you know. Every Hispanic character having an accent is too much.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, so
that was 20 minutes, by the way. That opening sequence of the show was 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
And it was really good, though.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I highly enjoyed it.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes of it because I remember like right after the intro was my freaking ParamountPlus crash. Stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, so, I mean, I highly enjoyed it. I thought the visuals were cool for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, of course, there was that section where you're just like, damn, that CGI is bad.
Yeah. The chief, Master Chief, ends up finding some type of artifact, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Would it be spoilers if you told us a little bit more? Do you know about that, or do you not know about that?
I mean, from what it looks like it's a Forerunner artifact. The Forerunners are the Forerunners are this race of beings who they're also the ones that created the Halos.
Oh, yeah.
And so
like,
a lot.
Don't they look like fleas?
No.
Okay. Giant fleas?
No. The giant robots?
No.
I mean like the round robots?
I might be thinking about Gears of War.
That's racist.
Same story. I'm just joking.
So it looks like it's a Forerunner structure, and we see an elite about to take out the chief until the chief touches it. And and a lot of the Forerunner structures are designed to only be so that Covenant can't touch him or can't utilize these weapons.
Okay.
They're set for only reclaimers, like what they call reclaimers, to be able to use it. And reclaimers are humans.
Oh.
So they need a human to be able to operate something.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't look like the Covenant know this at this point. That's why like he's about to take out the chief until the chief touches it.
Yeah.
And activates it.
Yeah.
And that's when he realizes he's like, oh, like they can activate these weapons or these structures, these artifacts.
Yeah, and that information eventually goes over to I don't know what he is. He's like a Covenant leader.
Yeah, he's a prophet.
A prophet, and then you have her. Was she the leader?
She is fucking made up for this show.
Oh, okay. And again, they're speaking alien.
Yes.
And
you have to read.
And you have to read, and it was but the detail that they're going into about like I guess this prophecy and how like this person can activate it like you can, which I guess is why they introduced her. Like she's a person, so she can activate that that artifact. But they were going into detail, and I honestly I get distracted really easily, and this is part of the issue. It's the ADHD kicking in, you know. But it's like they're explaining this detail about how you're she's also reading a book, and she's able to understand what that book is saying, but they can't. And so, can you read me the book, type of thing, you know? And it's a lot of detail about that story, and it's just like it gets lost in the translation.
Yeah.
That's the issue that I have with it. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the prophet,
Mercy.
Is that her name?
His.
Okay. Wait, what?
His.
Oh, his name was Mercy.
Yes.
What was her name? Okay, so there was she was human-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he was Covenant.
Yes.
Okay. So Mercy was a Covenant. We're not sure what her name, but she did have a person in a pod. another person in a pod. Do you remember that? A woman in a pod?
No,
Oh
don't
no,
know
I'm
if that's
confusing
from-
two
yeah.
situations. My bad. I thought those were okay. I jumped ahead a little bit. Sorry.
yes. Because you're talking about Dr. Halsey.
Dr. Halsey, Dr. Catherine Halsey, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, the tongue twister.
So here, so do you know Cortana, right?
Yes.
From the show?
Yeah.
Cortana is based on Dr. Halsey. Like she is basically like her image is based on Dr. Halsey.
They also mentioned Cortana in this,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Like they mentioned, I think she's still trying to create Cortana. Here.
Oh yeah.
So Cortana isn't really a thing.
Right.
Dr. Halsey, I feel like they're making her more heroic
Okay.
in this.
Okay.
They make you kind of root for her.
Oh, okay.
And to show, she's a rebel, but she's trying to do the right thing when she's trying to protect Chief and stuff.
Yeah.
But Dr. Halsey is like she is very morally corrupt.
Oh, okay.
Like
she's evil.
Yeah, because she's not really evil, but she does not have any reservations about her morals
in the video games. Okay, got you. I was gonna say I did put that she seems. I can't speak. She seems shady as heck. Like in my opinion, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things is Spartans from a certain program. Spartans were children that were kidnapped.
Oh.
And these children were not only kidnapped; they were replaced by these clones that wouldn't live long.
Oh.
So like they would replace them with these clones that would get sick and die.
Wow.
And then it's like, oh, your kid died.
Wow.
But they're really in these Spartan programs.
Oh.
And later they start making the clones into the Spartans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So that's a whole convoluted part. But like Dr. Halsey she's kind of like the one that's kind of in charge of all these programs and stuff.
Yeah. And so she's she very much reminds me of a character from Battlestar Galactica that I can't remember her name, but she was one of the Cylons. She ended up being one of like the Cylons or in somebody's brain as a Cylon.
Yeah, that's what I got here.
What I'm talking about in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, me too.
And also she reminds me of this character who is Dr. What was her name?
The Doctor?
Not the Doctor, but in Lost in Space, the current version of it, they made the Doctor into a female Doctor as well. Can't remember the name of the Doctor though in this one, but she's kind of like a shady character. She actually wasn't really a doctor, but took on the position of a doctor because she was just trying to run away from her all her criminal history that she has. But very much like that type of like sinister, like corrupt, type of character. So yeah.
So like I said, she's not evil, but she's not very. Yeah. like she's very much a get things done.
Yeah.
No matter the cost. Yeah. Type person.
Yeah.
And
she seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were making her a little more. They were making her seem a little more heroic in my book.
And I can say that. I mean, like if you kind of mentioned something a little bit, but I can see why you say that. But she does to me come off like she's obviously has something. She's spying on Master Chief, right?
Yeah.
Like she can see through his visor.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that were kind of questionable, even to what I mentioned right now. Like she had some person in a pod, and I don't know what that is myself.
It looks like a clone.
Oh, okay. Of herself?
Might have been.
Oh, okay. Just bald.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
They don't grow hair.
No.
I don't know.
Well, I didn't really see the face. Well, maybe just the like seeing the clone's face like didn't really say the same face to me, but maybe that's why it could be. Maybe she's just bald.
Yeah. So we have Quan that's now in this. I mean, she's being held. Yeah. And this is when Miranda Keyes appears to her. Yeah. And Miranda Keyes and Jacob Keyes, like her father.
Oh, okay.
They were controversial casting because they're black and they're not black in the game.
Oh, what are they, white?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There are no black people in space, Jaime. We've been through this.
Okay.
But they speak English, so Jaime's okay with it.
That's perfectly fine with me. But I really like Miranda. And I liked her dad, the character portrayed. And it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Like, fuck those people who said that, because it's a fictional fucking character. It's not like it's a historical like figure and they just made him black, you know? Like, and on top of that, that's bullshit.
Did you
Get
know
over
that
it.
like in the 90s they wanted to make a Harriet Tubman movie
Oh
and
my
they
God.
wanted to cast
A white person.
oh, hold on, what's her name? Not
Scarlett
Julia
Johansson.
Roberts.
Fuck, are you
Julia
serious?
Roberts as Harriet Tubman.
In the 90s too.
I think it was the 90s.
Embarrassing. I'm sorry, that's embarrassing for us as a country.
Can you imagine if that had happened though?
Dude, that would be some shit. Like, that's some crazy shit. And again, like, it's a historical character that doesn't make any sense, you know. But then again, it's something that's always been done in Hollywood. Whole other subject. So again, these characters are fictional characters. It doesn't matter. I personally really like Miranda's character. This was the scene that we were talking about where Quan and her were, or Miranda was telling Quan, "Hey, look, we're trying to unite the colonies, right?
Yeah.
So can you just have something? Can you speak, you know, to the people? You know, tell them what you experience because right now is a time for unity. You know."
Yep.
And I mean, I don't understand this from Quan's perspective necessarily because her whole tribe was, or whole people were just taken out, right? So for her to kind of put up a debate and be like, I can just blame you guys and the Spartans for taking us all out, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
For the character, well, for the story, but I guess for her, in her mind and her dad's memory, they were fighting to not be part of the colonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb. I thought it was dumb, and it made me immediately hate the character.
Yeah, she
that
wanted
and
independence
she had no eyebrows. It really made me not dislike her. I don't
Why?
trust anybody without eyebrows.
She had very thin eyebrows, didn't she? Or little eyebrows?
There was something there, I guess.
Well, she had a whole unique look to her, you know, like the haircut.
I thought the haircut didn't make sense because why give her a mullet?
Well, one of the dudes that blew up had a mullet too.
I was like, it would have made more sense for her to like have her head shaved. I think
like completely?
Not like bald, but at least like that buzz cut.
Okay.
I just think that would have made more sense.
Well, they're on a desert planet.
I mean, but the way her like that mullet went, it was odd.
Well, okay.
I mean,
it
might be the fashion choice in the future.
On a desert planet, you know, on Madrigal.
You just got to keep the sides of your head warm, but not the top and the back.
Like, I can't explain it, okay? But no, I mean, like, whatever. I did look at the mullet and I was like, okay,
that's a choice.
It's a choice. It's their choice, you know. Yeah. Like, they're allowed to do what they want to do. But she wasn't the only one. There was another character that died earlier on, that one of her friends that had the mullet as well. And it was a redhead mullet, actually.
Yeah,
she wanted independence from Madrigal, which was what her dad wanted as well. But it
didn't wait for them to blow that planet up.
Oh my god, they're dead though. Isn't everybody dead on that planet at this point? Well, Quan's the only one that survived from her
I don't
group.
need to see any more Madrigal.
Stop, leave him alone.
Yes.
Yeah, I did put why did she not want the truth out there? It doesn't make sense. Because of politics.
Fucking politics. So then the UNSC decides that they're gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Which is a hell of a jump to make.
Yeah, they're like, you know, can you speak to the people? But you know what? She didn't want to. Let's fucking kill her.
Yeah, let's take her out.
Yeah,
which goes to show you that they do have a reason to not trust the UNSC.
Yeah, they're corrupt. It's a government system in this world that's corrupt.
Yeah,
as you know, Master Chief is also having flashbacks.
Yes,
and you didn't like that? Yes.
Okay, look. The reason I didn't like it was when he starts drawing the artifact, the Covenant artifact.
Okay.
Because I feel like they're gonna make it seem like, oh, the Master Chief is the only person that could have. I feel like they're making him special.
Oh, okay.
And to me, when you make someone special, you take away their specialness.
Okay.
It's like like I mentioned, when the Amazing Spider-Man made it so that only Peter could have gotten bit by that spider and had these powers. Like, instead of anybody it could have happened to anybody. The reason why I love Die Hard so much, like the first Die Hard, is because he is just a regular person that's put in this extraordinary situation, and it's the way he reacts to things.
Yeah.
As opposed to he's the only person that could have done this.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I don't want them to do that to Master Chief. to me, Master Chief is a character that he is just he was taken as a child.
Yeah.
He was trained in this, and he's managed. He manages.
Yeah.
Like I don't want them to be like only he could have done it. Anybody else wouldn't have made it.
Is that what they were implying? You said when they were drawing.
To me, that's kind of what it felt like when they show that he's drawing the Covenant artifact already.
Okay.
And
as a child.
The Forerunner artifact.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want them to be like, oh, Master Chief had this connection to this already. You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, I really hope it doesn't go that way.
Yeah, and it might.
That's what it looks like, but I hope it doesn't.
But and this is like when he's kind of realizing his humanity-ish, or I mean, because are they not humans?
Well, certain Spartans are, others are clones. So the older Spartans are humans because they're the ones that were being taken.
Oh, the earlier ones. Okay, got it. Yeah. So his flashbacks that he's having, he just does like he was just like brainwashed.
Yeah.
And he's having flashbacks of his childhood. Because of this artifact now. But it's just, so it's not that he forgot, it's just that he was brainwashed.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's what they're going with in this show. At least, you know, from the video games, is kind of what you get.
Got it.
But then, you know, Quan comes at him with a gun.
At the Spartan?
Yeah, so what they do is like they give him the order, you know, take out Quan.
Right.
And he ignores it.
Right. He starts shuts off the systems and everything like that.
And that's when they shut off the oxygen.
Yeah, right. And he's so okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, so like why does he gets the order to kill Quan, but then why does he instinctively like go and shut off the ship? Like shut off the camera systems on the ship. Like what made him do that? Was it just his humanity and his flashbacks at that point?
I think so. Okay. I think that's what they're going with at least. Okay. Yeah. Like they have this scene where Quan tells him like, "Oh, you killed my mom."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, you thought my mom was a threat?" And he tells him like, "This was the intel I got. Like they see stuff I don't."
Yeah.
And she said something that I really like, which she goes, "Did you ever think it was the other way around too? Like you see stuff they don't."
Yeah.
You know, and like and also that's one of the things that's always made Master Chief such a good soldier is that he's able to make decisions on the spot based on what he sees.
Yeah.
Too.
Right.
And
so maybe that's why he jumps into this too, like to protecting her, because he does, right? Like he shuts off the ship that they're on, which is taking Quan back to the colonies. Where's the
UNSC?
The UNSC, NSC. So he just goes to automatically just like protection mode, like, but she's not sure about that. You know, she just feels like, the oxygen gets shut off and she's blaming him for it, right? And then he just goes and tries to save him, which was really like that scene was intense, right? Like everything that was happening, because Miranda's dad was you know like, hey, we got to do what we got to do. There was also a point where Halsey was talking to the Silver team, and tells them, hey, like just make sure, because they're freaking out about Master Chief, right? Master Chief is clearly shutting off cameras. He's restoring the oxygen on the ship to make himself more conscious again. And so Halsey goes over to the Silver team and tells them, hey, like make sure to protect him at all costs, which is the questionable things that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Where she's kind of like protecting him, you know? So that was a crazy scene too.
So that happened. Yeah. So once Quan comes to, first thing she does is picks up a rifle and aims at it as a Spartan.
Right.
Which, like, fucking stupidity of this. Like, oh, I can kill you with this, right? No, you fucking can't. Like, did you? You're a dumbass.
Yeah. Well, and so this is where we get the like a moment that I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you didn't like the moment where he in order to connect with Quan, right, in that moment, or to to I guess put a human face on himself, he takes off his helmet. So you didn't like that moment?
Not a fan.
Why?
I mean, just
because of the whole thing you said.
To me, like you shouldn't unmask Master Chief.
Okay.
That's like giving the doctor's name.
Yeah.
Like it's just something you really shouldn't do.
But don't we know the doctor's name at this point? Really?
No.
I swear, like they've said it or something. Okay, I don't remember what it is, but
Because they don't say it.
Okay.
The doctor doesn't have a name.
Okay.
Like all other Spartans, you do see them take their helmets off in the games and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But the Master Chief, like you never see his face. And like I mentioned, like that was deliberate. I saw somebody tweeted like, I always like the fact that I could see myself in Master Chief, but now that he's taken his helmet off, I've realized that he's way too attractive. I thought it was funny.
He is really attractive, by the way. I was like, hey.
But also, the Master Chief is supposed to have like scars all over his face. Like, he's supposed to be pretty fucked up.
Oh.
Because
He's
the
been
training
through war
and the battle.
He was really perfect. You're right.
He's very good looking.
Yeah, and those eyes. Oh my god, Jesus Christ! Keep staring at me.
Very good looking man. Like, and I just didn't care for that part.
Yeah,
I really didn't feel like that, especially in the first episode. Okay. Like you could, if you were gonna do it, build it up.
Yeah. I think that they had to kind of do it because, like, for example, when they did it with The Mandalorian,
it wasn't in the first episode.
It was not. It was like in the third episode or fourth episode, and out
of a 6-episode series. Yeah,
yeah, but also, I don't think that. I mean, I feel like to me, it didn't add anything to that moment. Like
because it did need to happen.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think though that if you are gonna do it, it's gonna be better to do it earlier on, so that it gives you a better connection to the character, as opposed to the way that they did it with The Mandalorian. Like it was 3 or 4 episodes, and he just took off his helmet because he was like injured, and you were just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, oh, it's Pedro Pascal.
See, like one of the things that worries me though is that now he's not always going to be wearing the helmet. Like you will see him without. Like one of the things that bugs me about superhero movies, how often they take their masks off.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, like he holds his secret identity the closest.
Yeah.
But how often he rips that mask off.
Yeah. Or it's
in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Garfield's appearance in No Way Home.
Yeah. Great.
But the first thing he does, pops up to strangers and takes his mask off.
And then in full Spider-Man. Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And it to me, it does take away from the character.
Yeah,
like you don't need that character to emote that much from it. Like you don't need his facial expression. Yeah. Especially a character that you want to kind of not really portray as human, even though like you need to see his humanity build as opposed to show his facial expressions. In my opinion, I don't feel like they added anything to it. I don't think they needed it.
I do have to say though. That I do agree with what you're saying. Like him revealing his face, it wasn't like, oh my god, it's that guy, or anything like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying in regards to that. Like, it didn't add to the suspense. It didn't add to the excitement of the character. So I can see what you're saying in regards to that. I feel like it makes him more human, which makes sense because of his story, which is what you've been telling me. It wasn't like oh my god amazing moment or anything like that. It was I felt it was appropriate for the moment because of how he was trying to reach out to Quan and be like, look, I'm like you in a sense. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it,
but I don't feel like the Master Chief would care.
Yeah,
like he doesn't.
Well, he's having humanity flashbacks though in this series, so that's the only thing.
Yeah, especially like in this newest game in Infinite, they're like he meets a pilot.
Yeah,
and he constantly shows you that he doesn't care what that pilot thinks.
Yeah,
like he is there to make sure that pilot is safe because he cares about him, and to make sure that he's performing his missions. And I don't feel like you need to unmask him like that. To me, that takes away from the character. Gotcha. It just does. Like for instance, Judge Dredd. Did you see the remake?
No.
It's really good. But did you watch the original?
No.
Terrible fucking movie. But Sylvester Stallone does not keep that helmet on.
Okay.
And it's so fucking obnoxious that he does not keep that helmet on.
It's like the look. Yeah.
So in the newest one, Carl Urban is. Did you watch The Boys?
Yes.
He's Butcher from The Boys.
Which is the French guy? Wait, which one's Butcher?
The
gun, the with the beard.
with the beard.
Yeah.
Wolverine. He looks just like fucking.
Yeah,
Wolverine.
yeah, he does.
But he does not take the helmet off.
Yeah.
And it works. Like his acting is so good that he's able to portray this character without having to show you his face. Same with even Bane in
Batman,
the Dark Knight
Rises.
Rises.
Right.
Like he does a great job emoting without showing you his face.
That's a good point. Yeah, I actually like them.
Even though you really can't understand him.
Yeah.
But he does a great job. Like you don't need to show me a face to give me a great performance.
Yeah.
Robot Man is the fucking best example.
Yeah.
We don't see Brendan Fraser, but we hear the emotion in his voice.
Yeah.
Like he portrays such a human character without emoting.
Right.
Like it's just a fucking robot.
Yeah.
And to me that kind of makes him the most human because he doesn't have the ability to give you something the way Jane does with her face or with her facial expressions. Like it's all in his voice. It's all in that.
Himself.
And, yeah.
It's just who he is, right?
And I really feel like they kind of made a big mistake taking the helmet off, but it happened. So
I mean, thankfully, overall the episode was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I like the story. I want to see what's next. I definitely I'm into it. You know, I'm much more than I expected. So hopefully you are.
Oh yeah, I still enjoyed it. Cool. I understand that it's not the same story.
Yeah,
and I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
They've mentioned the planet Reach, which to me is like, ooh, like are they gonna do something about Reach?
Okay.
Because
I think I remember them saying that.
It reaches the last human colony that's out there, and the Covenant destroy.
Oh wow!
In one of the most heartbreaking video game levels ever.
Oh,
like it's such a good. And I mentioned this before.
I think so.
Like you just play a Spartan in that last battle.
Oh yeah,
and you just basically. You go down, like you die.
Oh, and that's why it was called Halo Reach, right?
Yeah, because it's a planet Reach.
Oh,
and it's all a prequel to Halo Reach is where the Pillar of Autumn, which is the ship that's holding Master Chief escapes from. So when Halo Reach is destroyed, like the Pillar of Autumn just barely escapes it. And the first Halo Combat Evolved takes place like almost immediately after the destruction of Reach.
Oh wow, crazy. It seems like series are maybe more of a thing for video games than
I agree
than a movie. You know,
totally agree.
There's a lot more story that you can go with and take your time with because this was a great start. I definitely liked it. I hate ParamountPlus, but I like this. But yeah.
Who's that Pokemon?
Jaime.
Hi. My name is Jaime. What do I have for you, you ask? Just kidding.
Tell us, Jaime.
Who's that Pokemon?
Welcome back to Jaime's Pokedex, Jose.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Thank you.
In Jaime's Pokedex.
Wow. If only.
Who's that
Stop! I get it. This week's Pokemon.
Enthusiasm, man.
I'm just kidding. It's because you know all that. Who's that Pokemon distracted me? No, but we are. Thank you, Jose. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sucking the life out of the room. This week's Pokemon is Growlithe.
Oh, I know that one.
Yes, this is Growlithe and Arcanine, and this is Generation 1 Growlithe, and this is the most recent iteration of Growlithe, which is Hisuian Growlithe.
That's Santa Claus.
That's actually rock formations around him. Don't they look like clouds or beard?
Yeah. He has a rock beard.
Yes, he has a rock beard. He's kind of cute though. I like him. I like the design. It's very like those like Chinese like statues that they made, you know?
Yes. Okay. I get what you're saying.
So here's another look for you. Okay.
Yes, I see it now.
So yes, Growlithe is this week. Well, Growlithe and Arcanine are this week's Pokemon in Jaime's Pokedex. Pokemon. It's not coming out. Growlithe is National Pokedex.
Pills for that.
Stop. Growlithe is National Pokedex number 58, and it was introduced originally in Pokemon Red and Blue, which was the first one, and Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is where Hisui and Growlithe comes out in. So Gen 1, Kanto, and Hisui are the two we're covering today. Okay. I cannot speak all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. Growlithe is categorized as the
You good?
I'm not. As the puppy Pokemon, the Growlithe is. The original Growlithe is. But the Hisuian Growlithe is the scout Pokemon. So can you guess what types they are?
I'm going to say fire and rock.
Did I say this already?
I'm really good at it.
Shut the fuck up. Listening. I stopped paying attention to myself.
Not all of us did.
So the original one is fire type. The Hisuian version is fire rock. You're correct. I guess I said that too.
How'd I figure that? I figured it out on my own.
I'm hungry. I think that's what it is. It's time. It's time for a meal. It's 5:34. What did we have? We only had breakfast today. That's what's going on.
I had a donut.
That's it.
That's it.
Maybe that's why you don't get rest properly. Because you eat before you go to sleep, and that's not good.
All right. Well.
Okay. So lectures.
All right, doctor.
Doctor Who. So in my research, I've learned this week, specifically in Kanto about Growlithe, a Pokemon with a friendly nature. However, it will bark fiercely at anything invading its territories.
Same.
It's very territorial, especially when you don't get enough sleep, right?
Oh yeah.
In Johto, it's extremely loyal. It will fearlessly bark at any opponent to protect its own trainer from harm. Same. In Sinnoh, a Pokemon with a loyal nature, it will remain motionless until it is given orders by its trainer. Stop. And then you like being controlled. Is that what you're saying?
I found my spirit animal.
Oh my god, Growlithe. All of the Pokemon apparently. And then in Alola, while it's quite friendly towards humans, once it's grown used to them, in the wild it must be quite fierce to defend its territory versus Rockruff, which is another dog-looking Pokemon. Actually, it's funny because he looks like a little tiger / dog.
Yes.
But yeah.
That was the point.
Why?
To look like a little tiger / dog.
Well, why would that be the point?
Like, I thought that was the point of its design.
Well, sure.
All right.
It has lived alongside humans since ages ago. Its bones have been found in excavations of ruins from the Stone Age, which I thought was really interesting because originally, so the first introduction of him, he's only fire, but they point out in Stone Age, which then leads us to having Hisuian Growlithe, who is part rock. So it was really interesting. I thought they added that was really cool. In Hisui, which is about the Hisui and Growlithe, they patrol their territories in pairs. I believe the ingenious rock components in the fur of this species are the result of volcanic activities in its habitats. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like the connection to the original Pokedexes and how they did that.
Yeah.
So we do have an evolution, which is Arcanine and Hisuian Arcanine.
Oh, the other one they both look cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this one looks a little weird for some reason to me today. But this one, I like the design. Again, much more of like that Chinese statue design that they gave it. And Arcanine is National Pokedex number 59, excuse me. Again, introduced in Pokemon Red and Blue and then Legends Arceus with Gen 1 and, Kanto and Hisui. These are both categorized as the legendary Pokemon. The reason that's interesting is because he's not really a legendary Pokemon in the games.
Then why is he categorized as one?
That's a good question. I have no clue.
You're the one that's supposed to be bringing us answers.
Well, what I was going to finish saying before you so rudely interrupted.
Well, you can't start with I don't know.
Well, so in a lot of the old, in the first Pokemon movie, or actually in the original Pokemon series, there's a point where Ash goes to a Pokemon Center, and in the background there's like a mural or like an image of these stone, like these carvings, right? They have Zapdos and Moltres, I think, are the two, and then like even a Mew. But also Arcanine is one of them.
Is it watching?
Well, it's like it's like an
triangle.
No, it's a square.
Oh, okay.
It's a square, but it has like 4 different like carvings and one of them is Arcanine. In the carving, it's an Arcanine. So it's kind of theorized that he was gonna be a legendary, like he was actually gonna be a legendary in the video games, but they ended up just making him like just a regular Pokemon. But his category is the legendary Pokemon. It's not really clear why per se. He is also Fire Rock, and they both evolved from Growlithe using the Firestone, and that's a Firestone for you, little Firestone. In case you didn't know that, it also helped Eevee evolved. Firestone is a peculiar stone that makes certain species of Pokemon evolve.
To a Flameon.
Almost. Damn. You're so close. A Flareon.
Damn.
The stone has a fiery orange heart.
I was trying to impress you.
I know you were close though. I was closely impressed. Does that make sense?
You're almost there.
Almost. You were. Stop it. Okay, so in regards to Arcanine, the original Arcanine, in Johto, we learned that this legendary Chinese Pokemon is considered magnificent. Many people are enchanted by its grand mane. So yeah, like it specifically names Chinese people, Chinese Pokemon. In Hoenn, Arcanine is known for its high speed. It is said to be capable of running over 6,200 miles in a single day and night. The fire that
Same.
Lies. You sleep.
You don't know, man.
The fire that blazes wildly within a Pokemon's body is its source of power. In Kalos, which is what Pokemon X and Y. Yeah.
That's what I got here.
Its magnificent bark conveys a sense of majesty. Anyone hearing it can't help but grovel before it. It's really powerful Pokemon, which is again why they were trying to make it a legendary. It seems like they were trying to make it a legendary. In Alola, legends tell of its fighting alongside a general and conquering a whole country. It's really cool. I like the way they described this Pokemon. It was really cool. The Hisuian version, it's a special Hisuian Arcanine is worshipped by the people of Hisui due to it being one of the 10 ancient Pokemon who received blessings from Arceus. It is one of the noble Pokemon who resides in the Kobo coastlands, watched by a warden, and one that you kind of have to quell. It's quell it. Like calm it down with bombs. In case you forgot what the bombs were. In Hisui, in the Hisui Pokedex, it snaps at its foes with fangs cloaked in blazing flames. So flangs. Despite its bulk, it definitely feints every which way, leading opponents on a deceptively merry chase as it all but dances around them. This professor likes saying shit way too complicated. It dances around the motherfucking Pokemon.
It likes the flair of language.
Yes, he does like the flair of language. But that was the Pokemon of the week. Arcanine, the Pokemon of the week. Arcanine and Growlithe.
All right.
Thank you. Forgot my applause. Jose. But yeah, no, it's a really cool Pokemon. I like the way it looks, especially now. Like the stone looks really cool on it. So
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. It didn't get introduced early enough in the game, though, if you ask me. But it was cool. I liked it.
Well, nobody asked you.
Bitch, wow. I'm broken now.
Yeah, that's what you get for calling me out on being late.
I hope your tablet broke, bitch. So wait, next week. So we're gonna get Moon Knight.
Next week we got Moon Knight.
Yes, and by
Morbius.
then Morbius as well.
Another episode of Halo. We should probably skip out on news next week.
Might need to skip out on news. We might have to put a pause on Doom Patrol too, because we're gonna have Moon Knight. Excuse me.
Yeah.
We said Morbius,
Halo,
and DMZ.
DMZ.
Those are the more like recent things. We can see. We'll see if you want to watch a Doom Patrol. I guess we can, because Doctor Who we're putting on pause on because it was terrible anyway. But I like Doom Patrol, and that's trying to catch up on that as much as I can.
Well, I mean, I think if we skip the news, we should probably do this off air. But if we skip the news, we might be able to squeeze in Doom Patrol.
Cool. We'll see. It'll be a surprise.
All right. So we don't know what's happening next week.
But for sure, Moon Knight, DMZ, Morbius and Halo for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I
We
think
got
we're
a
good.
plan.
Yes.
Do you have anything else, Chad?
No, I'm hungry.
All right. Well, that's it. Have a week.
Bye.